now live in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Texas, Ohio, Montana, Idaho, Oregon, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Illinois. Go to hardafseltzer.com today, click on the store locator, and enter your city or zip to find the closest location nearest you.
We are gold for energy! Send it! Incoming! Put the money in the bag, man!
As I said, your paycheck is your thank you.
What's going on back there? This is awesome! Welcome to Earth! No. Who's flying the plane? Get cockpit. Go. God.
Black Rifle Energy, dropping near you.
Live from our studios in Austin, Texas, this is Drinkin Bros Fake News with Ross Patterson, Dan Hollaway, Papa G with the traffic,
How you feel? Not good. Yeah?
field reporter Hot Bob, and Delco Dan with sports. Welcome to Fake News.
Yeah! Welcome to Drinkin Bros Fake News, everybody. Bringing you the realest, fakest news of the week. What's going on, D'Anthony? You look great today.
I look great every day.
Oh, look at you. Look at you.
It's just a fact. Clean living, you know?
Yeah, you are, dude. You're a hippie now, dude.
What are you
We were just talking about that off air.
No, I told you that antibiotics don't work if you drink alcohol with them. That is an objective reality. That has nothing. I drank a bottle of wine. I drank a bottle of Sangiovese with a giant steak last night. It was the biggest steak you've ever seen.
Sure.
You can look on my Instagram and find it right now.
Really? Let's see it. Let's see the steak.
It's on my story.
Pull up his steak. I want to see if this is the biggest steak
I can't hear
I've
anything
ever
anybody's saying. What'd you say, Delco?
Antibiotics also reset your gut biome.
Oh, yeah, they do. So you should take probiotics afterwards. Actually, not to do an ad for them for free or anything, but there's one called Gut Shot from Whole Foods.
Oh, yeah. I took that last night.
But you can make it yourself.
I took it last night.
All you just mix an ounce of apple cider vinegar with apple juice, ginger, and what the fuck else? Okay, there's one other thing in there. It doesn't matter what the other thing is because those three things together are really good. Yeah, look at this bad boy.
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh, wow.
She was about a 3-pounder, and then go ahead and click to the next one. That's on my Rec Tech grill, by the way.
Love that. I love Rec Tech.
That's half of the finished meat. The other half was in my belly by this time.
My God.
And obviously
dude.
I used that Montana knife, culinary knife, to chop that bitch up with.
Yeah.
So I had that and a bottle of Sangiovese last night.
That looks delightful.
You're goddamn right
Did you
it was.
eat all 3 pounds of that?
I ate half. The other half's for the night.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
that looks delightful.
You can stuff that hippie shit up your ass.
Dan, how
Just
do you...
don't drink with fucking antibiotics. Otherwise, don't take them.
Look,
and die. Doesn't make any sense.
I'm drinking water. I've been drinking water for days.
Yeah, I know.
So.
Dan, how do
saying.
you eat your leftover steak? Do you just keep it cold or do you reheat it? And...
So for day 2 on this one, I'll keep it cold and I'll dump it into a giant wooden bowl with a couple of different kinds of greens and then 2 different kinds of olives and then like pepperoncinis and shit like that. Maybe something crunchy like a radish. I don't know.
Yeah.
It depends, but usually that's how I. So first night, eat hot. Second night, cold salad.
Okay.
It's delicious.
Okay. Quickly here before we get into the news here, a bunch of people we mentioned this yesterday at the end of the show. A bunch of people have been asking us about Tim Kennedy. So there's a bunch of comments and all that other stuff. I don't read the comments. But our social media chick, Danny, who you guys met last week, brought it to my attention. A bunch of you guys have been asking about Tim Kennedy in the recent news and his apology for essentially some award or something. And I said, look, I didn't serve, so I don't really know what this means. We have reached out to Tim to come on to the show. What is happening? Because forgive me, I'm not military and I didn't serve.
I mean, I guess it depends on who you ask, but over the years, comments were made by Tim and comments were agreed to that were said by other people by Tim that suggested he had a Bronze Star with V.
Okay.
A number of deployments, blah, blah, blah. A lot of it was untrue.
First of all, what is a Bronze Star?
So a Bronze Star is a service award, right? And it doesn't become a valorous award unless there's a V device attached to it.
And what does the V mean?
Valor.
Okay.
Makes it a valorous award. And that never happened.
Okay.
So it's a lie. So that's it.
Okay. Anything else, or what was that was pretty much it?
Those are the facts. My
Okay.
personal opinions will be between me and the individual involved. I don't air my I don't know why all you veteran people just you're like fucking women and children. You can't you just can't have a conversation with another human being directly. You have to air your grievances in public all the time. I'm not doing that, so I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, and
if you come at me with that bullshit, like, oh, you should do this or do that. No, I just told you what happened. He fucked up. He's the one that's got to go eat the shit.
Yep.
That's his work to do. I'm not fucking doing it for him. And I don't want to listen to your fucking bullshit. Period. He said shit about his service that was not true. That's a fact.
Okay.
And I don't want to hear more about it. That's his. If you got something to say, go say it to him.
Yeah. And in regards to what Dan just said, I can confirm it because you were on a call with him right after the show yesterday. So, me personally, non-military, I don't I've gotten the messages, but I don't know what any of that means. Now, if you want to come at me for another Olive Garden waiter who's stealing valor, yeah, coming to the big guy, and I'll tell you if they really served.
Lost a lot of good men.
Yeah, at Olive Garden. Now that I can help you out with. Military, I don't know what any of it means, and so I'll defer to Dan on this. But I can't confirm. When we were walking out of the studio last night, he was talking to him, so we invited him on. And we'll see what happens.
We'll see.
Yeah.
It's not going to be pleasant for him if he comes on.
Yeah. So
just to be clear.
We'll see what happens.
At any rate, there's another thing I was reading about. I don't know if you've been following. Do you remember a couple years ago? I think it was, Bob, what year was that hurricane that fucked up Puerto Rico?
It was Trump's first term.
It was like 2019, right?
I
Was
think
it
it
the
was
same
earlier.
one that fucked your? Oh no, that would have been
Earlier?
18.
I think it was
one?
18.
17.
Yeah, it was
17 or
September
18.
of 18. 'Cause it's the one that fucked up your place
God.
in Carolina Beach, right?
Dude, it
like ripped
off,
the fucking roof.
half the side of the house. So all the siding of the house got ripped off.
2017.
Yeah,
Hurricane Maria.
You'd have to dig back into my Instagram, like way back to then, to find it. But I posted a picture.
Mm-hmm.
If there was about maybe quarter-inch worth of board left, so that would have destroyed the entire house.
It still flooded it, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
At any rate, so you remember that Puerto Rico got hammered.
Yes.
And their entire energy grid got fucked up, and it's still not repaired to this day. I think you remember, I don't remember what we were doing, but it was in February of that next year, so February 2019.
2018.
And no, the storm was in September of 18, I think.
17.
Right?
I just looked it up.
Oh,
Okay.
17, okay. So in February 18, you and I were probably headed to the Super Bowl then, right? We were headed
Yes.
to Atlanta for the Super Bowl.
Correct.
Jared went with Nitro Circus down to Puerto Rico.
Yes.
That same month. Or it's like, so it might have been the same week, actually. And they spent some time down there working. Our buddy, you remember Kit Cope, right?
Oh, yeah.
The fighter.
Love Kit Cope.
Yeah, he's a great dude. He was down there doing security while people were rebuilding stuff. Anyways, they still haven't gotten it fixed yet. And the entire energy grid is failing. They have daily blackouts and brownouts all over the country, even in the city, right?
Yeah.
Still, this is years later.
Yeah,
What is that,
yeah.
8 years later?
Yeah.
Almost? So at least seven and a half years later. And they've been in this bankruptcy proceeding for the whole time
Really?
to repair that energy grid. It's still been going on
Okay.
the whole time. And they can't actually get it fixed completely until this bankruptcy hearing is completed. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on and reporting on this, and it matters to me because, one, I've got friends down there. I used to go down there all the time. I fucking love
Did you
Puerto
really?
Rico. Yeah,
I've
all
never
the time.
been, actually.
It used to be super nice. Old San Juan. I would stay nearby, stay down there all the time. Giorgio's parents got a place down there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
A lot of our friends in and out down there. I got a couple buddies that live down there right now. And Rincon on the West Coast. It's fucked. And there's a hearing on the 16th next week to get this process started. I'll have more information then, probably on fake news next Thursday, but keep an eye on this shit.
Okay, yeah. I'll keep my eyes peeled on that. And I'll be looking out for it here. Welcome to the show, kids. Look, this is a topic that I don't think that's going away. I think this one is going to... I think this one's going to live in the news for a long time here. And it's Epstein Was CIA. As you've all heard, the DOJ, the FBI, and Trump himself have concluded there is no list, there is no conspiracy, and we're moving on from Epstein. Bob, do you have that clip of him saying that? Look it up on Twitter here yesterday.
I mean, what he was saying was, are you guys still talking about that creep?
Well, look at, I tell you what, pop in Pam Bondi, because people were going after her last night. She was trending. They were sitting together next to each other in the Oval Office. And yeah, there you go. You can play it.
Sure. Your memo and release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former Labor Secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Costa, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of set?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, Pam, could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Yeah, so she has a babbling answer after that, Bob, if you can play it.
I don't think it's necessary. It's just the same stupid shit she
Here's
said.
the thing. It's in this particular interview, though, you can tell she's just kind of like her speech is very labored, like she's trying to think about what is happening here.
She's not smart.
I understand that, but usually she's pretty sharp. On camera.
I don't think so.
On camera.
I don't think she's ever sharp.
Is this the clip, Bob? Yeah. Play it real quick here, because this is where she got, in my opinion, caught in the lie.
With the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
Okay, what the video turn this on.
Yeah, there you go.
What the video actually showed was that the and the layout was that the video that they released doesn't even show that part of the fucking prison.
No.
So they're I mean, this is nonsense.
Yes. Yes.
And
yes,
you know,
yes.
the whole premise is that nothing to see here, move on. We don't have anything else on Epstein. That's what they're saying. At its core, forget all the fluff and the periphery. At its core, that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you now how that is completely impossible and how Trump, Bondi, the entire intelligence community, and Kash Patel and Dan Bongino are all lying to your fucking face.
Yeah.
Every single one of them are lying to your face. There's no way that they don't know these things. So this comes from reporting by Mike Benz. If you don't know Mike Benz, he's a former State Department official in the first Trump administration, and he's one of the best commentators out there on foreign policy because he's worked there and is a student of the history surrounding it and is a very sharp dude, right? And he sticks primarily to the fact. It's Mike Benz, B-E-N-Z is his name. So this was, Epstein himself was absolutely an influence operation run by the CIA, probably with the assistance of Israeli, not Mossad, but Israeli military intelligence directorate, MID, right? And Mike is reporting on this stuff. He's the current executive director of the Foundation for Freedom Online. And he explains that Epstein was recruited by Donald Barr. Now, if that name sounds familiar, that's the father of former Attorney General William Barr. Donald Barr was an OSS officer, and he recruited Jeffrey Epstein, who didn't have any formal teaching training, nor did he have a college degree. He recruited him to teach at the Dalton School.
What's the Dalton School? I've never heard of it.
It is a very prestigious school.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
I was not invited there.
Yeah, well, there you go. So
Whoa.
That kind of
proves
the point, I think. So Benz explains all this. As a result of him teaching there, he got a job at Bear Stearns working in finance. Now, keep in mind that Donald Barr was not just an employee of OSS, but also a recruiter for the agency.
And Bear Stearns is one of the biggest hedge funds and firms in the United States.
In that time period, they were
the guys.
Yeah, right? So Epstein quickly rose through the ranks at Bear Stearns due to his charm, aggressive style, and a willingness to handle clients with large amounts of money, which turned some people off because they were afraid of it. He became a limited partner just 4 years in and soon began handling high net worth offshore accounts and became what's known as a financial fixer. And I'm sure you can guess what that means. In 1981, Epstein left, but was really quietly pushed out of Bear Stearns after a review of possible policy violations. I think it was Reg D or something like that. He was committing securities fraud on behalf of some of his clients, and which is like loaning money to a client without proper approval that should have been run through securities, and it didn't happen, right? He never returned to traditional Wall Street after that. Instead, after leaving Bear Stearns, Epstein, at the age of 28, formed his own, no degree, no real experience in this aside from just being a good shit talker, formed his own consulting firm, the Intercontinental Assets Group. He helped governments and businesses hide money and then find money in their books, right? He was cooking books for people all over the world. Now, one of his largest clients was a gentleman named Adnan Khashoggi. Now, if that name sounds familiar, also familiar.
Sure does.
That's Jamal's uncle.
Okay.
Right? Little known by most folks, but not by people in the intelligence community, because Adnan Khashoggi was the primary middleman for illegal arms trafficking to Iran during the Iran-Contra scandal.
All right.
He was the gun runner during the Iran-Contra scandal, the primary guy. He was the gun runner for Ollie North, right?
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Through the 70s and 80s, he was the largest weapons dealer in the world. And Epstein was the personal financier and financial fixer for Khashoggi. He was laundering money for Khashoggi, who was working for the CIA, to get weapons to Iran and to the Nicaraguan Contras.
No fucking way.
Yep. And Epstein.
This is according to Mike Benz?
This is according to, and you can find this information.
Oh, okay.
Closely
All
enough,
right.
yeah. So Epstein got a fake passport from Saudi Arabia to conduct his business overseas, right?
Yeah.
So Saudi Arabian intelligence was also involved. So far you have, the CIA, who is the parent organization. You have MID, Military Intelligence Directorate from Israel, who is helping move the weapons around. You've seen this fictionalized to some degree in
Lord of War?
No. In Charlie Wilson's War.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
That little
Tom Hanks movie?
that little meeting where Tom Hanks playing Charlie Wilson and the military intelligence directorate guy from Israel and the Saudi Arabia guy all sitting in a room together.
Yeah.
Right? That's a real meeting that happened. I don't know if it was that particular group of people, but those three organizations were represented. U.S. was the driver. They funded everything, right? So Congress said no. They wouldn't fund this stuff.
Yeah.
So these people are all working together to sell illicit arms to Iran and then use the money to buy weapons for Nicaragua to fight communism for the Contra people, right? So they were selling illegal weapons to Iran through using Israel as a cutout because we couldn't be involved technically, but the CIA was the parent organization. We're the ones that recruited Epstein. We're the ones that put him to work. We're the ones that hooked him up with Adnan Khashoggi. Okay, so we're selling weapons through Israel using Khashoggi. Then the money from that goes to pay for weapons for the Contras in Nicaragua. The two top branch officers from the BCCI, which is the Bank of Credit and Commerce International, which was the bank used by the CIA during that period to hide their money.
Yeah.
Right. Testified under oath and at the Kerry Commission that that Khashoggi personally told them he was working with the CIA and making deposits for them. When he came to make deposits at their bank, he would tell them that it was on behalf of the CIA because they were the ones that handled that money for the agency. The entire operation, Iran-Contra, relies on the illegal concealment of funds, which is literally what Epstein was doing for Khashoggi. So this, I'm going to come back to this. There's quite literally no way we don't have 40 years of files on Epstein, as he was at minimum an indirect employee of the agency for decades.
Yeah.
For decades, right? So what did the IC know about, the intelligence community know about Epstein? At 28, he's a finance guy for Iran-Contra. 28 to like 35-ish, right?
He's the one funding all this?
No, he's the one moving the money around.
Ah, gotcha.
He's moving the money around. Khashoggi's moving the fucking guns around.
Okay.
Afterwards, he assumed power of attorney of the Les Wexner enterprise, where he personally negotiated the transfer of Air America, later called Southern Air Transport, which is Tom Cruise, that fucking movie about the CIA moving drugs. That's the airline, right? so Jeffrey Epstein becomes the fucking has power of attorney over this fucking airline because the agency moved it for Les Wexner from Miami to Ohio to Cleveland.
That's where he lives. Les Wexner, big Ohio State donor.
Yeah. They moved it there for his personal use because he was doing dirt for the agency. The airline declared bankruptcy the day after the CIA finally admitted it used the airline for narco trafficking and gun running. After the fucking Ollie North story broke, the next day.
What the fuck?
Goes away. So the State Department then, after this was over, the State Department started paying for a lease for Epstein for the second largest residence in all of New York City. He was living there.
Okay.
Right? In this fucking giant building.
Yeah.
And the State Department was paying for it. It was seized from Iran, and the State Department gave it to Epstein for free, basically, to let him live there. The lack of CIA files on Epstein is as implausible as possible. Given the extent of his involvement in covert operations over the years, the Justice Department's handling the case is terrible, obviously. They're obviously involved in covering this up.
Right.
The intelligence community is definitely covering up because they've already been caught doing enough, but they don't want to get caught doing more. So British intelligence, MI6 was involved. MID from Israel is involved. And Saudi Arabia intelligence is also involved. None of what you're being told is real. Absolutely none of this shit that Trump is saying right now is in any way based in reality. Not even close. And
so why is he saying it?
Well, I mean, because he doesn't want to be the president when the whole system falls apart. That's my opinion, but I don't know.
Okay.
Like I don't think it's just because he was allegedly introduced to Melania by Epstein. I think it's that Epstein has been a primary figure in American intelligence for decades, and nobody wants to admit that because once you do, you can never stop talking about it. Right. But we know now. So he and everyone in the intelligence community, he being Trump, knows that Epstein was a CIA asset for about 40 years. And they're asking you not to believe what you can see with your own eyes. Biden did this, by the way.
Yep.
Biden and his team said, don't look at inflation, don't look at price.
Right.
Everything's fine.
Right.
He asked people to fucking stop talking about it and stop believing what they can see with their own eyes. And now Trump is doing the exact same goddamn thing with Epstein. I'm telling you, this is not going to go well for him.
Him being
Trump.
Yeah. Because that's the other part about this here is no one, right or left, is buying this Epstein bullshit. Not one single person. I posted it last night on Twitter. And not only to run on it and say it over and over again, and then Cash Patel saying it over and over again, and Bongino saying it over again, and everything else. And like, that is what we voted for. These were the people that we wanted in there. This whole thing is a colossal fuck up. And if this guy indeed was working for the CIA for 40 years, like you said,
he was. There's no question about that.
And if he was, right, why even bring it up on the campaign trail? Why do anything about it? If you know you're on the list, right, or Cash Patel or any of those other people, why keep talking about it? That's what I just don't understand.
Because it was the podcast election.
What do you mean?
That's a popular topic on podcasts. It's something that interests podcast listeners. This is the podcast election, baby.
It has gone past podcasts, though. Like this story,
it has, but we love to talk about that. Joe Rogan loves to talk about that type of thing.
Oh, yes, yeah. Yes, but here's the thing: you're the president of the United States. You cannot run on that and then look everybody in the eye and say, no, none of this happened.
He probably didn't understand how deep it went with how many countries it involves.
But he was in there the first term. So, like, when Epstein hung himself in 2019, he was in office. So, how did he not know then? From 2016 to 2020, how did you not know what's going on?
I mean, when was Epstein arrested?
17. I believe he hung himself in 19, correct?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll just say things.
It's not that, dude. But if you this Epstein thing in forever, dude, we've had this fascination with Epstein for 10 years now.
We showed you the VH1 tapes.
Yeah, dude.
Speaking of tapes, Steve Bannon has 10 hours worth of interview tapes with Epstein for some documentary that never came out. And when are those coming out, Steve?
Well,
he released somebody released part of one of them.
The thing that I heard was because he was all over that goddamn place. He was there a million times. And looking at Steve Bannon, are you shocked?
That's what Elon said.
Well, Bannon's
Elon Musk literally said it last night on Twitter. He said Steve Bannon.
Then
was
Elon
there.
Musk, if Elon Musk really believes this and he's not just talking shit, he should put a bounty out. He should say, "I'll give somebody $100 million if you get those files and put them on the internet." $100 million.
Is that legal?
He can afford it. Why wouldn't it be?
I don't know. I don't know.
You can't. You're not. If you can classify everything you want, and maybe it's illegal, but once it shows a crime, it's no longer illegal. It's a whistleblower thing, right? Like you're protected under the whistleblower laws at that point. So no, it would not be illegal.
Interesting. Interesting. But you know, for me personally, watching this and that Bondi interview yesterday. Trump yesterday, and then immediately afterwards, I don't know if you saw this, but you know, they were calling for Pam Bondi's resignation immediately after that. You know,
that's not going to happen.
Everybody involved, really?
No.
Why?
Because that's an admission of guilt.
Oh, that she did a fucking terrible job. Or she's a liar.
No, because what would your response be if Pam Bondi resigned today? Oh, it's all fine now. No. It's like, all right, we want the next scalp because you're all involved.
Yeah. Nah, I guess that's true. But I don't know how anybody's supposed to move on from a topic that was in every single rally. You know, people were holding up Epstein signs and all that other shit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Regardless of what was said during any campaign or what promises were made, the fact is that this guy is a fucking pedophile.
Right.
And worked directly and or indirectly for the CIA for 4 decades. And all of a sudden, for some reason, nobody's got any idea of what he was up to, right? Despite the fact that his accomplice is in prison for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're full of shit. It doesn't matter about this. It doesn't matter what he said or what he didn't say before. What matters is that our government is being run by people who are covering for pedophiles.
Yeah.
Period. And nobody's ever going to take them seriously again, nor should you, right?
It sucks.
Like it's ironic too because Trump does it. There's 9/11 people watching right now. Nice.
Oh, really? Nice.
Ironically, Trump doesn't want to be the president when all of this falls apart, when we lose the republic, right? It would be a stain on his image from his perspective. I'm sure he thinks that. But he's probably, in doing this, created that scenario. He's probably the one, because he was unwilling to fucking take the hit right now, not personally, but as a government, take the hit. He's probably going to be the reason that this fucking government goes down completely. Because I can tell you this, based on this and some of the other things that are going on right now, when the election happens in 26, I'm not voting for any Republican. Not one.
No.
Local, anybody. Like, you guys got to get your shit together. It's not on me to be loyal to you. It's on you to be good enough to vote for. And not one goddamn Republican is.
Yeah. And to that point, man, last night, you know, because the hits keep on coming here, he supported Lindsey Graham.
Well, we'll get to that next.
The entire audience fucking booed him last night. And yeah, you know. But for me personally, it's just... Going back to 2016, the reason why I voted for him was, at that point, I wanted to see what would happen if somebody could go in there and just kind of blow up the system and see what it was, right? Mm-hmm. He did a great job, but he still got trapped in some of the shit.
No, he wasn't. Well, he used that as cover to get into office, and I think he's still trying to do a good job. I don't think he's not trying to do a good job. But I don't think he was actually committed to that the way he said he was. It seems like that's probably a lie.
But
right?
If you're gonna,
because if he really believed it, he would be okay dropping a fucking nuke on our own government. Like, hey, rip the fucking Band-Aid. Here's exactly what happened. Yeah. Here's exactly what happened and all these things, right? So that, and he would have let Elon continue. He would have, instead of trying to distance himself from Elon like all these stupid fucking dummies and his administration told him to do, he would have said, you know what, Elon, we're going to do this, dude. We're going to fuck this shit up. You go out there and start threatening everybody, and when they come back to me and say, oh, Mr. President, he's threatening to primary me, be like, yeah, he is, because I fucking told him to, because you guys aren't doing what you're fucking supposed to. The end. That's what Trump should have done. Now, I don't approve of everything Elon does. Obviously, he's... you know, he's way too friendly with China, to be honest. And if you're a person out there that loves Elon and can't see that, that's a big fucking problem, right? But, there's a lot of stuff going on there, but he is not wrong about this.
Okay. Yeah, but you know, just going through last night.
Hang on a sec. Yeah. Elon G says what Democrats are worthy. Who says they are?
Yeah.
Right? What? Just because the Democrats aren't I'm not going to be fucking held hostage by the Republican Party telling me that if I don't vote for them in 26, then the Democrats are going to take back the House or the Senate. Like, no, that's your fucking fault, not mine. My job is not to elect Republicans. My job is to elect a government that will do what the fuck they're supposed to do. And if you're not going to do it, then I'm not going to vote for you.
Yeah.
Period. Fuck you.
And then again, for me last night, just going through, because I watched Glenn Beck had a really great show last night that I was listening to. And, you know, essentially what he was saying is just to look in the camera and lie to everybody. Like, when we're all supposed to believe this, everyone, right, left, whoever, we know this story is not true. Like, all of us know this story is not true. And to put up this fake jail cell footage and then her bullshit explanation that we played earlier that, you know, there's a minute missing from the tape and all this other stuff, like, and then just expect us to believe it and then wake up the next day and go on about our lives. Like, all right, well, they tried and, you know, nothing there. It was just a weird thing, just a weird conspiracy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you're going to get the same level of respect and loyalty out of me that you've given to me. How about that? How about we make that deal, Republicans?
Yeah, or any politician.
Give a fuck who it is. I don't care what the left does because I'm not the left. That's their business.
Yeah, but then to have, you know, Lindsey Graham, which shit. Well, we'll read the first sponsor first, and we'll get to the Lindsey Graham shit here. But it's Omaha Steaks. I got finally something positive here. OmahaSteaks.com/Drinkin Bros. 50% off their blazing hot summer sale and an extra $45 off with the promo code Drinkin Bros at checkout. On top of that, 50% off. Come on, man. How do you go wrong there? Love Omaha Steaks.com/Drinkin Bros. You know them. They've been around for 100 years. Omaha Steaks is America's butcher. From handcrafted steaks to family grilling favorites, Omaha Steaks delivers the world's best steak experience. Enjoy USDA certified tender steaks, juicy burgers, and so much more. As the summer is heating up, so are the deals during their blazing hot sale with 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com/Drinkin Bros. Plus, our listeners get an extra $45 off with the promo code Drinkin Bros at checkout. There's nothing quite like the unforgettable taste of a summer cookout, and as the summer heats up, Omaha Steaks has your back. It's not just steaks, by the way. They also carry mouth-watering burgers, chicken, pork, seafood, delectable desserts, and more. Make your summer sizzle with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com/Drinkin Bros for 50% off site-wide during their blazing hot summer sale. And for an extra $45 off, use the promo code Drinkin Bros at checkout. That's 50% off at omahasteaks.com/Drinkin Bros and an extra $45 off with that promo code Drinkin Bros at checkout. Look at all that tender meat out there. Next up, Epstein, Ukraine, and Lindsey Graham. Like we were saying, it's been a pretty rough week here for Donald Trump.
Rough month.
Yeah.
So far.
10
days in.
10 day, well, it's 10 days, week, whatever. First and foremost, the handling of, obviously the Epstein situation has been awful. And it's going to be studied in the future political science classes on how not to handle a global scandal. Simply asking to pretend that what we're seeing isn't a strategy. What is the strategy here?
I mean, there's no strategy there, but asking people not to believe their own eyes is not a good one. And we just saw that with Biden. That might have been the number one thing that made Trump win in 24, is that Biden was telling people not to trust their own eyeballs. And people were like, well, fuck you. I'm not doing that. Yeah. Then a few days ago, 2 days ago, I think, Trump announced weapon shipments to Ukraine have resumed. Absolutely no one voted for that bullshit.
No.
Quite the opposite, in fact. That war is going to be shut down in 2 days or whatever the fuck he said. Now, that's rhetoric. I don't hold him to that, right? But I'm not interested in being involved in this. We just got a commitment from NATO members to finally start spending 5% of their GDP like they're supposed to, right? So why the fuck are we starting to send them? Why are we ramping up our production?
Don't know.
Doesn't make any sense. And then yesterday, as you mentioned before, Trump announced that he's once again endorsing the incompetent chicken hawk, Lindsey Graham, who loves war but has never fucking had the balls to go serve in one. The fallout from these missteps has created a 10-point swing in his approval rating just over the last 10 days. From the end of June, he went from +8 to today at -2, right? Not good.
And you know where that swing came from?
Black people.
Republicans, too.
It was only Republicans.
Yeah. I mean, this is...
Democrats didn't change, but black people who voted for Trump changed big time because of some of the stuff that's in the big, beautiful bill. Now, some people said that it was because of welfare and stuff like that. I don't think the majority of it was that. Here's what I think it is. And we haven't really talked too much about this because there's so much other garbage in that bill, aside from the fact that it's just an omnibus bill, which we should never do in the first place, which everybody said was evil 12 months ago. Now it's fucking great because he renamed it. Is the increase in SALT deduction. SALT is state and local tax, right?
Yep.
So the big, beautiful bill allows shithole states like California and New York and Massachusetts who have high local tax and state tax. It allows people to write off up to 40% of their state and local tax on their federal taxes, right? Which means if you live in California, you live in New York, you're paying less federal tax now than people that live in goddamn Alabama.
Yeah.
Because You get to write off your state and local taxes. Why the fuck is the rest of the country who's doing the right thing subsidizing these fucking shitholes?
I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense. And now New York's getting ready to elect a fucking literal communist.
Yeah.
Right? This is fucking dumb. Trump and Republicans are subsidizing California and New York and Massachusetts and other places like that at your expense. So when they tell you that they support the working, they'll support the working man.
Springsteen, dude.
When they support the base, no, they don't. They're full of shit. All of these people, residents in these states and cities, can now write off up to 40% of their state and local taxes on their federal taxes.
Yeah.
Your, oh my God. Your effective tax rate as somebody in a red state has now gone up in comparison to somebody in New York or California.
Right.
Why should that? Why? You did the right thing.
Yep.
You, quote unquote, voted the right way. And now you're getting penalized for it because these people don't know what the fuck they're doing. And just like he said about Israel and Palestine, Trump, you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
And, God, I could fucking... Where do we start here with this one? Let's start with Lindsey Graham first. I've always hated Lady G, a.k.a. Lindsey Graham. I wanted him fucking tossed into the ocean long ago. Never changed on that. Mitch McConnell, all these guys have to go. So not only did you sit there and say, Epstein, why are we still talking about Epstein? Then last night, when you got up there, there's footage of this, Bob, on Twitter. Type in Lindsey Graham and Trump, and he said he supports Lindsey Graham for the next election, which I guess is coming in 26 for him, and the entire crowd started booing. Yeah, was that it right there? Yeah. No. Go ahead and play this clip.
Another man, not a lot of people know him. He doesn't do too much television. He happens to be a little bit further left than some of the people on the stage. But I always say, when I'm in trouble on the left, I call up Lindsey Graham and he straightens it out so fast. And I'll tell you, no, remember.
Yeah.
Good. Boo harder.
I love him. He's a good man. Come up
He's
here,
definitely
Lindsey.
not a good guy. Anybody that wants to send other people's kids to war that doesn't have the balls to go to themselves is not a good guy.
The other thing I hate about this motherfucker. Fuck off. Yeah, I mean the booing was so loud for him last night that Trump had to stop his speech.
Actually, this happens all the time. Apparently, this is the most recent one.
Which one?
This is actually the one I believe from.
The one you just played was the one that I saw.
Man who's always there. He's always. I'll tell you what. When I need help on the left, he's great. He's great, and he's my friend too. Lindsey Graham, wherever you are, Lindsey. Thank you. Oh no. He helps me on the left. We need help sometimes. Republicans shouldn't need help.
That's when he was running for president, Bob, by the way.
Also,
you can see the bottom scroll there. Trump takes lead over Biden. That was when Biden was still alive, by the way. But yes, Lindsey Graham has been booed forever by wherever he goes, and especially in his own state. Why do they keep voting for him? I don't really fucking know. What I was hoping for was that he would come in and blow up the system, get rid of all these fucking people. I guarantee you Lindsey Graham is on that fucking list as well. In some way, shape, or form.
I would assume so, yes.
That's a guess because we'll never know because we don't have any fucking answers to that. That's the first thing I'm pissed off about. The Ukraine thing, I saw that speech yesterday where he said, yeah, we're going to give Ukraine more weapons. We've got to give them more weapons from Trump. Why? Who the fuck's paying for that?
You are.
Yep. Did not vote for that. I don't give a fuck what's going on in Ukraine and Russia. All I care about is what's happening here. And to your last point about taxes, holy fucking Christ, man. We're getting taxed to fucking death here in Texas. To absolute death here with property taxes and shit. And yeah, now you want us to pay for these countries who are these states who have fucking ruined themselves and Antifa and all their other fucking bullshit, everything that's going on in L.A. LA is a goddamn hellhole. And we've got, a tragedy currently happening here in Texas. And this is what we want to talk about right now.
So does that mean we can write off our property taxes
exactly.
up to 40%?
Yeah, can I do that?
That's a state and local tax, right?
That would be great. Is that true or not true?
But it should be true, right? You could write off 40% of your property tax in
Dan?
Texas.
Like I think he's being genuine.
I don't know. I have to look.
Yeah.
But it's a state tax, right? Or actually, it's a local tax. It's usually like to the county, I think. I have to pay to Hayes County, so.
Yeah.
So presumably, well, at least that's some good news, I guess. It's a huge property tax.
For us. Yeah. If that does apply to the property tax, great, I'll take it. But yeah, man. That bill sucked. The big, beautiful bill that passed on the 4th of July. That fucking thing sucked. And I think my biggest disappointment right now, because I do think Trump is trying to do the right things for the country. I don't understand the Ukraine thing. But I really wanted someone to blow up the system and expose it and everything else. I was hoping what he said on the campaign trail was real. We're going to expose Epstein on day one. We'll stop funding immediately for Ukraine and all these other fucking places, and we're going to cut spending and everything else, and hasn't happened. He's been great on illegal immigration. And yeah, it just fucking sucks, man. And it's not just us, by the way. Every one of your, Glenn Beck was saying this last night. Charlie Kirk was saying this last night, because I tuned into everybody just to see their opinions. And these were, by the way, people on the right. I already know what CNN is going to say, so there was no use in tuning into them. But I wanted to hear what people on the right were saying. And it's like, and then, some of the people we follow, Hodge twins, all those other guys, like, everybody's just as pissed off as we are right now. And we're not changing anything.
No, this isn't going away, no matter how. I tweeted about this the other day, but no matter what fucking other bullshit, I don't care about Brennan and Comey, care about any of this other stuff, right? You can't, there's nothing you can no keys you can jingle in front of my fucking face right now that's going to make me forget about this.
Yeah.
Period.
Yep.
So good luck. And by the way, Bob, yes. The answer is yes.
Woo! By the way, you know what else that means?
40% of property taxes.
Right. So
no, up to $40,000 is what it is.
Of state tax?
Yeah. So if you file a Schedule A federal return and do itemized deductions on it, one of your itemized deductions can be up to your entire fucking property tax, I guess. Up to $40,000 in state and local tax, depending on what tax bracket you're in.
Great.
So that also means that this subsidizes homeowners at the expense of renters, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Which is going to create less homeowners over time, which is not great.
But that also is technically homeowners typically more wealthy than a renter.
Yeah, usually. I think so. You have to make $500K or more to qualify for the $40,000. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the scale is. You'll have to look that up.
Yeah, but you can write off more than you would have been able to before.
Well, then I'm definitely going to do it. Shit, dude. If I have to pay for the other fucking states bullshits, then yeah, I'm taking mine too.
Let's just all thank Dan for paying for us.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. Dan Hollaway?
No, Delco.
Oh, Delco, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Hey, Delco, thanks for paying for my house, buddy.
Yeah, enjoy renting forever.
I mean,
anytime, guys.
God,
yeah.
dude. It's crazy, isn't it?
500K is in family, Wanathan. 250K for an individual. 500K is joint filers. All right, Adam C., you are banned forever, buddy.
What did he say?
He's just like running his fucking suckhole about some bullshit I've never heard of. He's like, oh, just look it up. Nope, you're gone. You can post a link or you're gone. I told you, now you're gone, you fucking faggot.
Next up, our next advertiser is firstform.com/Drinkin Bros. Tell you what, man, I did not get to eat this morning. I'm literally, we got a ton of listeners in the studio today. Everybody says the same thing. They're like, holy shit, I was drinking liquid IV earlier. I mean, for a First Form now, like, it is real, dude. We wouldn't promote this shit if we didn't fucking eat it. I eat the goddamn Omaha steaks every single night. I usually talk about the micro factors. Here's the empty bag. I've already taken those as well today. They're fucking phenomenal. Takes the guesswork out of vitamins. Big Six is in it, antioxidants, CoQ10s, multivitamins, fruits and veggies, EFAs, and the probiotics. 30 individual pouches. One box, boom. When the month is done, you throw it away and then you start over. It's super fucking easy. And also, because I forgot to eat this morning, we carry these First Form protein bars with us every single place we go. Obviously, they're on the desk.
And they're for you're supposed to eat them.
Yes. This isn't going rectally, but while you tell them about protein, I'm literally going to take half a bite of this.
Please don't sit here acting like you're a conservative and then tell me what I can and can't put in my ass.
I'm not saying you can't. I'm saying it's not designed for that, you piece of shit.
All right.
Yeah.
You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Fair
I'm
enough.
just saying, if you're going to shove stuff up your ass, make it make sense.
Yeah.
Right? For you and your family. Mm-hmm. Protein doesn't really absorb rectally that well. I don't know what to tell you. Right? You're just gonna have to eat it. You're just gonna have to eat it, my friend. I'm sure there's stuff on First Form's website that you can jam up your ass, just not this.
Could you boof the protein powder?
You can boof. No, see, again, you're not going to get the full absorption. But energy drink, if you butt chugged it,
I think a stimulant would be
great
stimulant
would be fine. Yeah.
Are we calling it boof now?
That's what it's always been called.
Boofing it?
Yeah.
You never boofed anything?
Hey, Boof was like one of the greatest characters of all time.
You don't remember Buffy the
Teen
Vampire Slayer where she just shoved vampires up her ass?
It was Buffy.
For years.
But in Teen Wolf, it was his girlfriend was Boof. That was her name.
And there's a reason she got that name.
Yeah, she was shoving shit up her ass. Probably that fat dude.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Remember him?
Oh,
they
yeah.
became friends in the end.
Yeah,
After Michael J. Fox established that he was a good basketball player, then he got respect. That's how it works in life.
And that he wasn't going to be a violent werewolf.
Well, you get to choose.
She just got mad because he was popular at school when he was the werewolf, and their big breakup scene was, "Come on, Boof, everybody likes the wolf," and then he walks away. And it's true, everybody did love the wolf, but Boof was a good girl.
I like when he surfed on the car or whatever.
Yeah, on the van.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, I enjoyed that part. That doesn't have anything to do with protein necessarily.
It doesn't. And by the way, these goddamn things are so fucking good. Who's back there nodding their head? Because somebody asked for one, and I said, yeah, help yourself. Like, our house is your house.
Yeah, but just you're obviously, when you're in public, definitely don't put them up your ass.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it. Because then you don't know if you're going to do it. And I'm not saying to do it. I'm telling you not to. But if you do it at home or near a hospital.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how it's going to work out. Use a spotter too, probably. Right? Have somebody spread them, or you spread them and they just drop it in.
That's all that needs to happen. Yeah. But I forgot to eat. So, yeah, I just grabbed a quick half bar there.
I ate
jammed
5.
it in my mouth.
I had a 5x5 this morning.
You really?
That's 5 eggs and 5 pieces of bacon.
I was up till fucking 4 filling out a bunch of paperwork.
Yeah. But I am getting hungry because I worked out pretty hard this morning, so I'm probably going to have one of those on the way out.
Yeah, I understand it, man. I just had half of one live on air. Literally every product they make, all those fucking protein bars are amazing. I've never had a bad flavor out of these guys. My kids eat the PB&J ones. Apparel rocks, like everything. Summer Smash was awesome. Andy Frisell was great.
They do have really good apparel.
That's great.
Christian was in the. Yep. You're going to see our buddy on Friday's show. He's a long distance runner.
Yep.
He was wearing one of their shirts. He goes, "I can't believe how good these shirts are." I'm like, "Yeah, literally everything from that place is good."
They're amazing. And Christian is attempting to run
too much. He's gonna. I don't want
7 continents in 7 days, 7 marathons, right?
It's more than it's an ultra, so it's 50 kilometers at least.
Okay.
Or it's in that it's I think it actually has to be specific for the record. He's trying to set a Guinness World Record. 50 kilometers, 777. It's called 5077.
Yes, and including Antarctica. So we recorded that yesterday. That will air tomorrow. But very impressive. Any big First Form guy. That's we hung out with him and his lovely wife up there, and they were delightful. So listen to that episode tomorrow. But we all love First Form, like all of us, man. And go to firstform.com/Drinkin Bros today. All orders over $75 are free. And they're the best in the biz. So go to firstform.com/Drinkin Bros today. That is First Form, spelled with a 1. 1STPHORM. Firstform.com/Drinkin Bros. Next up, I'm glad you put this one in here. I've gotten tagged on this by 1 million people regarding the Texas floods and everything else.
This this guy Augustus was on my buddy Chase Geyser. You met Chase. He's been on the show before over at InfoWars. He was on yesterday. If you want to go check that out, you can hear from him directly.
Okay.
About all this stuff.
So
but anyways,
you guys were tagging me regarding the floods, in particular, cloud seeding. I heard of that going on in Asia. I think it was either Japan or China was doing it for crops or something like that.
Dubai does it all the time.
Dubai does it all the time. I had not heard about it here. The CEO of a cloud seeding company has spoken out about the organization's work after a series of deadly flash floods hit Texas. Rainmaker.
That's the name of the company. I mean, it's on the nose.
Yeah,
because that's literally what they do.
A little too much there, but Rainmaker CEO Augustus Dorico said his company, which works with farmers in Texas during times of droughts, unequivocally had nothing to do with the flooding. Flash floods swept through central Texas on Friday. More than 80 people have died and remain missing. According to the Associated Press, flooding struck as the Guadalupe River surged more than 27 feet in 45 minutes. Dorico, however the fuck you say that guy's name, said the technology was completely unrelated to the flash floods in Texas, which you said were prompted by parts of a tropical storm blowing into the state.
This is him, by the way.
That's the guy?
This is him. He's 25.
Shut the fuck up.
That's a nice haircut.
That's
Not what
the
you would
guy?
expect from a CEO of a big company.
He's
but
a fucking, he's got a sweet mullet.
Can you believe what Quinn Ewers just did to Texas?
I was just going to say that, dude. That looks exactly like Quinn Ewers. And, yeah. Over the past week, he's appeared on several news broadcasts and podcasts to discuss the technology and explained why it isn't linked to the floods. We unequivocally had nothing to do with the flooding that was caused by the remnants of a tropical storm that blew in. Now, we live here, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember a tropical storm. Do you guys?
What? Yeah, we get hit with tropical storms all the time.
We sure do. But last week, did we?
The last big one was, I think, I'm trying to look it up now. I think it was in 1987. So people who are saying this has never happened before, so it must have been cloud seeding. It happened in 1987.
What was that one?
The same goddamn thing.
So this was a tropical storm. So this tropical storm, normally when we get hit with a tropical storm or a hurricane, right? Because a tropical storm is like a step below a hurricane, basically, for a crude way to put it. They usually come out of the Gulf, right?
Yeah.
This one came up more through Mexico. I think did it come out of the Pacific, Dan, or did it come from the Caribbean?
I mean, originally it would have come out of. No, I came from the Caribbean, yeah. But
Okay.
I think the odd part about it and what's rare about it, and the reason it hasn't happened for almost 40 years now, is because it sat down on top of one area for a minute, right? Instead of continuing to move. And it was like the front that was moving it got hit by another front and paused it for a second. That's what happened. And it 27 feet in what, 40 minutes, I think it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously, oh no, it was 20 to 26 feet in 90 minutes was in that area. So cloud seeding operations are widespread in Texas, not just Texas, by the way, but a lot of countries where it's dry.
Sure.
And they cover about 1/6 of the state, spanning 31 million acres across its northwestern, western, and southern regions as of 2022, according to Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. Dorico said the technology was completely unrelated to flash floods in Texas, which he said were prompted by parts of a tropical storm blowing into the state. Over the past week, Dorico appeared on several news broadcasts. I think he was on Sean Ryan's show. He was on Chase Guy's show, a couple others, to talk about this stuff. I think it was wasn't it Chase or was it Owen Schroyer? I can't remember. They're both buddies of mine. But anyways, he explained in pretty good detail why they're not linked. I mean, the statement is that we unequivocally had nothing to do with it. They did do cloud seeding a couple of days before that, right? But that rain system came from a different place, right? You guys know that like a cloud doesn't just the same cloud that you see every day up there. It's not the same cloud. You know that, right?
No,
you know that they're moving
understand.
around the world and shit. You understand that this is a globe and it moves.
Okay.
Like cloud seeding happens and then rain happens as a result. So anyways, he goes into pretty great detail on some of these other shows. I'm not going to get into it today because I don't want to steal their thunder. So go watch their shows about exactly why it could not have done this. Right?
Do you? Well, let's just cut to it here because this is what the audience is asking. Do you believe it? Do you believe his story?
I don't know enough about this to know one way or the other. But this is why I like putting all the information out in public, because somebody will know.
Right.
Right. So he says that our biggest cloud seeding missions to date have only produced 10 million gallons of precipitation approximately, and that tropical storm dumped about 4 trillion over 2 days. Right. So you're talking about massive orders of magnitude. I don't think that's even possible. I mean, based on the numbers that I've seen, what their average is somewhere between 2 and 5 million gallons. The biggest they've ever done is 10 million, or 10 million. You're talking about 4 trillion.
Right.
So that's 10. Well, that's 400,000 times more. That's not possible. Sorry, that's just not possible.
All right, so two things here. So I've gotten if you tag me on Twitter, by the way, I know I said I don't read the comments, which is true, but if you form an actual sentence structure on Twitter and tweet at me at STJames on there, Ross Patterson on Twitter, those I'll read because it's a fully formed sentence and not just fuck off, bro, or whatever it is, right? And I'll respond to you. So you guys have been texting me about cloud seeding, or hit me up on Twitter about cloud seeding now for the last 5 days, ever since this went on. And it seemed too ridiculous to me. However, last night, Bob, I just sent you this video. It happened again in New Mexico. I don't ever remember it raining in this is Santa Fe, New Mexico. Play that first clip I sent you first. Yeah, that one. And watch how fast this goes.
That was pretty ordinary.
An entire place was dry. Bone dry.
Certainly there's a lot of debris in there, but it's not like rising above the water line.
We'll get there. Go to the next video, Bob. Because now it's taking over the bridge.
Well, that's going to pile up, obviously, because of the debris, but that's not just a function of water.
I understand. Go to the next video. Yeah. That one.
Axe Crocker in the chat is saying New Mexico's had like 4 floods like that just this year.
Flash floods, just a quick, dirty Google search, fairly common in New Mexico. They're common anywhere where it's dry.
Yeah.
Okay. But look at this water. Now,
same thing.
Hang on. Here's my points on all of this. Texas is right next to New Mexico. I was out in this. I was trapped out in this over the weekends. Had to go to the fucking doctor yesterday. I got strep throat and a goddamn ear infection, like a baby, like a child, like a baby, like a little tiny baby.
Don't you just take amoxicillin for that?
Yeah, my wife went to go pick it up. Anyways, it was because I was trapped out in the rain. Remember I told you it was going down sideways and I got all fucking gumped up? Well, I got the kids with me and I'm trying to cover my ears because it's going directly into my fucking right ear.
Oh, I had one on the way on a flight one time. And I couldn't hear shit.
Yeah.
For like 2 days.
Dude,
my shit was all jacked up.
It was awful. Is that the offices and shit on the inside there, Bob? Yeah. There's 100 videos of what happened in New Mexico yesterday, too.
Well, I'll tell you. So, Dubai does this, too, a lot. Actually, a lot of big cities in the desert out in the Mideast do cloud seeding a lot. So, who knows?
I believe Dubai also flooded themselves with cloud seeding a couple years ago.
Yeah, they fucked up a little bit probably, but Dak Henson in the chat says Dominic Toretto drove a car through a building in Dubai all the way to another building. So physics may not even apply there.
They might not.
It's hard to say.
And also, it's Vin Diesel, and he probably did it.
He may have been involved somehow.
Gary, go back there and grab a mic because this will involve you next. Is that clip ready to roll too? So before we play that and I bring you on, being trapped out in that rain, I know I said this on Monday, but I really want to reiterate it. I've never seen that amount fall that quickly, that fast, when there was fucking sun right there, and then boom. It felt unreal, and it felt undescribable. I would be completely willing to entertain your cloud seeding things now at this point, because I don't have an explanation for that. I've never felt or seen rain fall that hard with that much.
100 billion gallons.
Yes, it was like we were under one of those things where you pull the bucket and it.
Yeah.
I mean, but over and over and over again, and then it would stop. It would be like 45 minutes and then complete stop. It would wait a couple hours and then back on again, and it was a fucking mess, dude. I got called out on it 4 times this weekend. Got fucking strep throat, earache, all ear infection, and all that other shit. I am now willing to entertain that because I've never seen it happen that fast where the skies open up and dump that much water.
Before we go on, Dan, when you said that it's the exact same thing as 1987, we talked to a number of people that said that this was dramatically worse in every possible way.
I mean that's possible, but it's very similar. I don't like. I'm not.
Yeah, no,
I don't need
similar,
to. I don't need to
but it's
hear.
way
I don't
worse.
need to hear from people on the ground when I can look at numbers. You understand?
Well, yeah, but I mean, numbers. Who gives a shit? It's people that have
Who
experienced.
cares
both.
about data? What are you talking about?
But where's the data from?
Dude,
and
what do you mean? If somebody was in the flood in 1987 and they were in the flood, this recent one, and they're saying this one was way worse in every way, I'm going to trust that person because they had actual experience there.
Yeah, you shouldn't, and here's why. There's 2 reasons why. One is recency bias, right? That's the number 1 reason, and it's something that I experience with you every single week. Recency bias, as in this is the best thing I've ever done. It's like it's really good, Gary. It's really good, but maybe it's the best, maybe it's not. You know what I mean?
No,
that's the first one. The second one is that eyewitness testimony is very inaccurate. Very inaccurate. As a matter of fact, if you read any kind of studies on criminology, eyewitness testimony, and we're talking about skin color, height, eye color, hair color, is only about 30% accurate, technically, or typically, right? So this is why I like to look at data, right? Especially because if somebody, like, let's say the entire town burns down except for your house, and then in the next one, half the town burns down, but your house is included, you're going to think the second one's worse, but that's not objectively true.
So for me, there was no tropical storm. Bob, can you find a tropical storm?
In 87, yeah, it happened.
No. This weekend.
Oh, this one, yeah, it was Chantel, right?
No, that was the one in North Carolina.
Oh, this isn't the same system?
No.
Yeah, so I don't know, Gary, if the second one is worse, honestly, because I haven't seen the full numbers from this. I know 4 trillion gallons of water fell, which is fucking crazy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
What are we referencing here?
The one that happened this past weekend, 4 trillion total gallons of water fell.
And they're saying it was the remnants of a tropical storm, but I saw I got nothing on a tropical storm here over the weekend. There was one on the East Coast, but not here, to my knowledge. Was there? Was there a tropical storm this weekend?
Yeah. Tropical storm Barry.
Barry?
It was fucking pouring.
What day was that? Because look, if I'm incorrect, I'm incorrect. I have no problem with it.
Well, it was definitely Barry.
Look, Dan, what I was trying to say was that when we're talking to these people and they're saying the devastation and the loss here feels worse, that's what I'm referencing. Numbers are good for supplemental, but...
No. Numbers are not supplemental. Numbers
are supplemental. You can lie with numbers and statistics all the time.
You certainly can, but numbers are the facts. People's subjective opinions are supplemental.
Yeah, but you can manipulate numbers so that they are...
the White House does it all the time.
People manipulate their own memories.
I disagree, and what I'm saying is that agree to disagree is what I mean to say, Dan. I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
No. Who fucking cares about that? Just say whatever you got to say.
Well, what I'm saying is that when we talk to people that were there in '87, this was just like unfathomable that it didn't even make sense that this happened so fast. And we put together a segment. It's about 3.5 minutes long, but
I wonder if the not to be punny here, but the precipitating factors in the '87 weren't as worse because it was raining earlier in the week too, so the water table was already pretty high before this flash flood happened.
And the ground was, people were saying, for flash floods, for reference, it's either You got really, really dry soil that can't absorb water.
Yeah, or it's
you've got
saturated.
really oversaturated.
Yeah.
And what I was thinking was that 2 days prior to this, allegedly this Rainmaker startup was cloud seeding, and they could have oversaturated the ground and made this dramatically worse. I'm not saying
couldn't it be like
it could have been
went and tried to start a flood, but it could have. This could contribute to making it that much worse.
Yeah, it's possible.
That's where I'm at right
I mean, it's something to consider if you're gonna. Let's say the guy's right and cloud seeding didn't directly affect it. I mean, maybe it's a straw on the camel's back, though, right?
Exactly.
That's very possible. Like if what we're thinking about right now is true, and the ground was saturated before this flash flood happened, and then the rain created it. Certainly, it was a contributing factor. But how the fuck could you even know that, right? I don't know. I don't know if it's like something. It's something interesting to be like, oh, that probably happened.
What was the guy's?
But he did it. He did say, I did do this 2 days before.
But as far as like setting policy because of it, I don't think that's a thing. Because how could you have fucking predicted this?
As far as I know, the cloud seeding was not in the Kerrville area.
No, it wasn't, but it was nearby. It was like 2 to 4 days.
It was to the
before
east
or
of.
something. Yeah.
It was almost like I'll try to find that map again or the information again, but it was more like between Austin and San Marcos, or maybe even further south of that.
Yeah.
So not. I mean, Kerrville's an hour west of here.
Right. Right.
And
I was up. Yeah, I was halfway there, and it was awful. So I can't even imagine being in Kerrville during that. It's like, holy shit. So, yeah. And then we sent Gary, a.k.a. Street Gonzo here, Gary Faust. If you're not following his Instagram, it's great. It's at Street Gonzo because he posts live footage of everything that was going on during the floods. And Joel down there with a bunch of supplies and everything else. What video are we about to see here? Because I know you guys are cutting this together now.
This is a 3.5 minute sort of summary of what we experienced.
Okay.
This was.
Was it worse than LA? Because you were in it in LA as well.
Oh, dude. Way worse.
Because I saw you guys were looking for dead bodies with like a whole team of people.
Yeah, we had to wade through the river. And
does anybody remember what the death count for LA fires was? Because obviously
it wasn't even close to
this.
This is
what is it, like at 120 now or some shit? I think the last I heard last night it was 120.
What's really crazy is that they actually don't even really know how many people are missing.
There's another 190 missing right now.
That are unaccounted for.
Yeah, I think so.
And it just keeps going up. Yeah,
well, that's the amount that are missing and unaccounted for. So the death toll is going to be somewhere between 120 and 300, basically.
Yeah.
Unless
what
there's
I'm saying
more.
is that there's still people that I don't even know if they're necessarily reported missing.
Yeah.
When we were talking to people, they were like, "Oh yeah, we haven't reported this person even missing yet. We're still looking for him." I mean, because it's fucking when this stuff happens, it's so out of control that people. You're not organized. You know, you're trying to clean stuff up. You're trying to find people.
I mean, that's something to consider as well, right? Like if you're we're in a rain season for this part of the. Obviously, shit. It's been raining for like 2 months, right?
It feels like it.
More so than most years. It's been raining here lately, but we're definitely in rain season for this area. And maybe don't do it. Maybe don't cloud seed while it's rain season, right? Or you like have those alerts a little bit more handy. You know, I mean, I don't know.
My phone went off. Did your phone go off?
I wasn't here, so no.
I was.
But I have those turned off. I don't do that.
Yeah, it was loud as shit.
We waded through the river to get to these little islands that are basically made up of debris. You understand what I'm saying?
I mean, they're not real islands, right? It's just like they are
debris
now.
islands, and you got 3, 4, 5 feet of debris. In some spots, it's up to 20 feet of debris. And the way you search for these bodies is by stabbing holes through the piles
so you can smell.
them.
Yeah, it's gross.
I mean, I don't have much of a sense of smell, so I was doing all the poking so other people could smell them. But it was everything around. This is the other problem. The people that could have a good sense of smell and there's so many dead animals that then you're trying to figure out what if it's an animal or if not. It was just a fucking mess. We can roll this video, Bob.
Yeah, Joel's in the chat, by the way. He said that LA deaths was around 13.
Okay.
So this is already 10 times worse.
All right. Yeah. And you guys always do amazing shit. And then I'll update you guys on the Netflix situation with Gary. We're still trying to patch together the insurance. They wanted like a $3 million policy to insure Gary in his life and death.
Somebody in the chat just said
if he's going to continue to, because we don't want to change the show. A lot of people have asked that. Are you guys going to change it? No. However, that's a $3 million life insurance policy, and it's really, really hard to get. And then there's 10,000 hours. I'll use an Epstein quote. There's 10,000 hours of Gary on the internet doing the most fucked up shit on the planet, so it's tough. We're working through it, though, right now. Gare Bear, what are we about to see here?
Okay, so real quick though, somebody in the chat, I want to point this out. Somebody said that they were looking up in the trees for bodies as well. That was another thing that when the river's up 30 feet and we're down at the bottom of it, once it's passed, when we're poking holes through debris looking for bodies, we have to look up every once in a while up in the trees for bodies that are in trees as well.
Holy shit!
That was another thing I wanted to add.
Okay.
This is just roll it, Bob.
Okay.
I'll explain.
And
what's
this is
going on.
Kerrville.
All right, so this is us driving down.
Yeah, what we're doing is pretty dangerous, actually.
This is in Center Point. This was the first place we stopped. It was a bridge. We got there right around sunset, and this was before we really realized how bad it actually was. When we were looking around for debris, there were broken toilets, dump truck, street signs bent over, trees uprooted. It was. We thought this was bad, and then we get over to
Power's out here.
Kerrville, and we saw how much worse it was.
Entire house was submerged. This entire neighborhood actually was submerged, completely underwater.
You go inside the houses, you can see where the water was, and it creates a water line on the wall. This one, it was completely up to the ceiling. And we found the owners of this place, and we're going to help them raise some
no bodies.
No?
No.
Pastor and
Greg
his wife,
Atkins right
two
here.
of their sons.
And we helped him pass his house. He was the owner of that tiny home that we walked through prior to this. Pastor. I've got to check all my notes and stuff to verify.
Yeah. I was kind of thank you. Oh, these are so cute. Thank you.
For sure. I'm going to try to get those meals too. I'll be right back.
Big branch right there. We've already walked all through here. So that's why we're going to go down there and check with them and just follow them. But if they have dudes and they're fine, we're going to get over here. If we need to get a rope and run it, we can figure it out. But we've already gone once across and it was slightly sketchy.
Got it? Yeah. Here, just pass that down there. And this stuff is like 3 feet deep. So we're going to be digging through this. That's the goal. That's the mission right here.
Hey, make sure you're looking up. So, like, where they found the body yesterday,
These guys.
20 feet up.
Holy shit.
Like, the water went all the way up past that, right? So, where we are is, 30 feet below where the water was. Okay.
That guy was a badass. He was the one that let us come with him, and they weren't letting any press go with any of these rescue crews. And we talked to him about what we did out in L.A.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. I didn't see no buzz there.
Yeah, he was a good guy. He was kind of the Evan Burns.
So this is the team that's looking for bodies and stuff?
This is secondary search, which is primarily
Careful, Gary.
dead bodies, yeah.
I mean, you were really fucking in there, Gary. Jesus Christ.
This is still center point.
There's Davey Jackson.
Hey, Davey. Hard to tell, yeah.
Those are rescue teams.
Eve, I'm Gary.
Yeah, this was fucking brutal, guys. It was really...
Man.
Brutal. It was brutal. That's the only word I've come up with so far, which I think is pretty accurate description. There's a lot of stuff that we don't have in there. The interviews I'm still going through.
Sure.
And...
that footage is insane, man. I mean, when you were in that river on that rope, how fast was the river going?
So this is what's wild about this. The way the water looks compared to how it feels, night and day. It doesn't look like it's going that fast, and it's pulling you back.
I could tell by the weight of it in the rope and everything, and that it looked like the current was really fucking strong.
Underneath, there was a spot when we were climbing over a tree in about a 1 or 2 foot area. It was really weird. where you're getting kind of pushed back, and all of a sudden it's fucking sucking you back like somebody's grabbing the back of you. It doesn't really. I don't know the science behind any of this. I don't know, Dan, if you've ever experienced anything like that, but.
What do you mean, like water pressure?
Well, when you're, it was
like
it
you
was
ever.
just-
We've all.
Why was the current so strong?
Oh, because the water is moving quickly.
Yeah, there's a lot of what, but what I'm saying is it's just really bizarre how when you're going across this river and it's all going at there's a moderate amount of pressure pushing you back,
right?
And then all of a sudden in like little spots, there's pockets where it feels like somebody's trying to pull you away, trying to
like a rip current.
It's a current. Yeah. I mean, it's. I mean, even with slow-moving large body of water, it's a semi-truck. Doesn't matter if it's going 3 miles per hour. You're not stopping that shit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's a really good way to put it. So there was all of that stuff, and we talked to some people down there. The first night we got down there, that first part of the segment you guys saw with the we're at that bridge. We met some people from Pretty, Texas, and they had just gone down there because they were watching the news and they heard about the Camp Mystic girls that had gone missing. They had children that were the same age, so they felt the need to come down and help out, and that was how the whole thing was. There were people from all over Texas, tons of volunteers helping out. The government was at first not preventing people from going into certain places like they were in LA. And then that kind of started towards the end. Like we lied to the police to sneak into the Hunt area to get back into the Camp Mystic space and check that out. But these guys, the first guys we talked to, they actually told us that there were people lying about people being saved. There was a bunch of lies in the media about, oh, these 2 people were pulled out of a tree. This happened, that happened. So it was hard to determine what was real, what wasn't real. And they also said they heard secondhand that there was some looting happening.
Well, that was the next question I was going to ask. And one of the shots there, it appeared to be some graffiti on the outside of the house.
That stuff was all, as far as I know, that was all from people helping and from
okay.
Maybe,
just clarifying, because in the LA fires, they
there was
were
graffiti from
tagging it,
actual looters,
because they were looting it, and then they knew, all right, great, we've already looted this car, we don't need to go back to it.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I actually ended up getting a ticket for passing a road closed sign. It was an honest mistake. I thought we were going to meet up with Jorge Ventura. He was the reporter that laced me up with all this stuff, and he said, "Hey, meet me over here. I was interviewing him about the first 2 days when we weren't there." And I passed a road closed sign and went around to this other thing because you can't, you're not, simple mistake, honest mistake. And the police officer wrote me a ticket. And I told him I was there helping with search and rescue and with, we're doing donations and all sorts of stuff. And then I got into an argument with one of the producers from ABC.
Yeah.
Because they said we couldn't be on someone's property, one of the houses that was totally washed away. They said, hey, this is a sensitive area. The owners asked us to not let anybody. I said, they asked ABC to not let people over here, and you guys are setting up a studio to record?
Right.
And I said, wait, so who did you talk to? He said, the owners. I said, that's funny because the owners are fucking dead. And the guy just looked at me with a blank stare on his face. And we recorded that whole fucking thing, too.
Please tell me that's going to be in that video.
Unless I am wrong, and they did, in some bizarre way, have the family.
There's no way.
ABC was protecting the family.
No,
they are fucking scumbags. Yeah. So yes, we recorded that. We got we were helping.
Make sure you get that ABC reporter's name, obviously, and put that.
Well,
in
it was a producer.
It's in the video, and you'll see it, right? So that'll be in the.
Well, that's a job for you guys in the chat or anybody listening to the show later. If you recognize the dude, go ahead and fucking put his name.
Oh, I'm happy to, because by the way, that shit happens all the fucking time. Matter of fact, they spoofed it in Anchorman.
They boofed it in Anchorman.
Yeah, they sure did.
I do want to be clear.
And to watch. Well, wait, hang on. So remember when they're all jockeying for the best shots and lying for each other for the birth of the panda and all that other shit? Like that happens all the time. So they'll lie to you. They'll say whatever you want. Because they want to get the first footage, and
they're full of shit.
Yes,
but I do want to clarify that the house that was swept away, the people that were there and their 1-year-old kid, they're gone. And I wasn't trying to be disrespectful in any capacity by recording stuff over there. I just want to show people what's going on, and I also want to say that if I am wrong, that ABC producer did have some weird permission then hey, I'm the asshole and I fucked up and I apologize. But as of right now, from what I experienced over there, that guy was a piece of shit.
And I'm probably 99% sure he's just a piece of shit. There's no way you have any permission or any of that shit during that.
You know, we also talked to this guy, Jonathan Howard, briefly. He helped raise money in North Carolina, and he's going to help us raise money, do fundraisers for some of these people, like this guy, Greg Atkins, that I was talking about. In his home, he owned the tiny home, and he also was the landlord to one of the other people that got screwed. I think he was maybe somebody that was very involved in that specific neighborhood we were in.
Sure.
So we're going to try to raise some money for those people. And then also we were at Jared's, and I talked to Jared about the aerial recovery and how the stuff at the airport works, because you've got multiple different entities, Coast Guard,
and they're each flying all in and out.
There's somebody that's somebody there has to do deconfliction. Actually, you can ask. You can ask one of our guys coming up for Drinkin Bro of the Week. He knows some things about that.
Oh no shit. Okay,
so we actually snuck into the airport, and I realized now in hindsight I was driving on the runway I had a loaded gun in my truck at the airport. That's kind of insane.
Proud of you.
But we
you can
ended
leave
up
your shoes
talking
on
to the
in
guy
TSA,
who was
though.
running the airport's operations, and how he ended up helping someone find their daughter, which was the picture he showed us was fucking. It was mind blowing, because it's this girl right after she was rescued.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, she saw all of her fucking friends die.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of stuff, guys. It's a lot of stuff, and we're trying to make sure that we
edit it correctly, get it out on time, and all that other stuff.
So we talked. I went to Jared's, and I talked to Jared because we interviewed these guys from the Air Force for like 20 minutes, and we toured a Black Hawk, and then the guy goes, "Hey, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that."
Okay.
Like, why the fuck would you?
What's the rules and regulations on that?
I mean, I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, they should have told us that
if you're in uniform, you're not supposed to be speaking in any official capacity unless you've been cleared by a PAO, typically.
Okay.
So, but good news is we talked to Jared, obviously TAC P, and he gave us the lowdown on all that stuff and how it works, because he was down there briefly as well. So I think we got everything covered. I think we're going to be able to help a lot of people and show what it's really like to be part of the search and rescue efforts and all that stuff. And if anybody has any questions or any other stuff that they think we might need to be aware of, go ahead and DM me on Instagram. I've been checking my DMs as much as possible, or just drop it in a comment on there, because I'm trying to respond to those as well. I just remembered the other thing. We did talk to people about cloud seeding, because the first night we were there, that's what people were talking about. And
they really were?
Yes.
Okay.
But here's the thing. This is what was weird. Nobody there wanted to talk on camera about it, and I shit you not. One of the guys that we were talking to said, I asked him, "You think this was cloud seeding?" He said, "Yeah. Why don't you want to talk about it on camera?" And he said, "I do business around here, and if I talk about cloud seeding, people might think that it might get twisted into some conspiratorial angle, and people will think I'm anti-Semitic."
Okay.
Is it the Jews cloud seeding?
Maybe.
I don't know.
That guy didn't look like a Jew with the mullet.
All I've been able to do at the time is look into when cloud seeding was all started. They started doing cloud seeding stuff in 1946, and they've been able to make clouds, as we were talking about earlier, for 20 years. But I think that
Hungarian
I think that this is potentially connected to that, but nobody wanted to talk about it, so I can't. Maybe I can put Dan and I will do some research on it. I'll try to put a segment in there regarding the cloud seeding stuff, because it's definitely pertinent. But I'm not an expert on it, and not a lot of people talked about it, so it's going to be hard to fit it in. That's everything I got. I got to get back to the house and keep working.
Yeah, no. It seems like you're on some form of crack, meth, or crack cocaine right now.
No, I'm completely sober. I'm just busy.
Love you, Gare Bear. Can't wait to see the video when it comes out, all right? Next up, our advertisers talking about news is ground news. Got ground news on the show here, talking about honest news. Well, ground news is here to help you out if you're wondering, is this real? Is this fake? What kind of story am I reading here? Ground news has came up with something completely awesome, where underneath the story, it'll say whether or not it leans rights or lefts. It'll be 70%, 30%, whatever, and then you can make your own decision of whether or not you want to read it. If they think the article is fair, if you want to read it, that's great. Right now, you can redeem product code. The promo code is GN.
Nope, Drinkin Bros.
Drinkin Bros.
Go to groundnews.com/Drinkin Bros. So here's what it's an app actually that kind of plugs in here, and what they're trying to do is address the issue of people's distrust in media.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
This is something I talk to you about a lot. It doesn't mean you shouldn't necessarily not read it. Just because it's polarized or in an echo chamber or big tech is doing this or doing that. What you should do is, one, educate yourself on what reality is. And then the second step is to know whether or not something has a lean to it or not. So you can trust people to be who they are, right? Like if I ask a question of a right person or a left person, I know that I'm going to get some truth with their spin on it, right? This helps you know what it is. This is a solution to that particular problem. So it tells you this is spun to the right or this is spun to the left. So when you see rhetoric or something, you're like, oh, okay, that they added that. But here, you can still get the information out of it without being convinced one way or another by somebody trying to get sly and use rhetoric. So that's what I like about it. Because for me, like some of the places you know already, if they lean one way or another, but there's a lot of new media out there. There's also a lot of opinion pieces written by like so-called experts. Sometimes they actually are experts, but even then, like Scott Jennings, I like him. I think he's funny. He's on CNN a lot, but he's a Republican, and he has been for his whole life.
Yes.
When he says something, it's going to be from a Republican point of view. And I know that because I know who Scott Jennings is, but a lot of these people I don't know. Ground News will help you with that. And that's a really... That's George Carlin used to say, don't editorialize to me. Don't say brutal dictator killed. Say dictator killed. Tell me the story, and I'll decide if he's brutal. This is what Ground News helps you do. So go to groundnews.com/Drinkin Bros. You're going to get 40% off their unlimited Vantage subscription.
And that's, by the way, that's what I was trying to say at the top of the thing. We've had this sponsor on the show. GN, as they're commonly referred to, Ground News. We have our own URL now. So we didn't before, we do now. And it's groundnews.com/Drinkin Bros. To get 40% off their unlimited Vantage subscription.
It's like a news aggregator. You're going to get news from all across the world, and it's going to tell you which way they lean. Yeah, that's the simplest version. It was founded by a former NASA engineer, super smart dude. Just wants the fucking truth. Yep. That's it.
And if you hear the phrase GN a lot, it's like CNN or whatever else, it's Ground News. And these guys are starting to really take off because, to my knowledge, this is the only sites where it actually tells you at the bottom of the article. And if you can pop it up on screen, Bob, I'll show the audience. This is what I really like. That red or blue mark at the bottom obviously will be, all right, Democrat leading, Republican leading, and then you scroll down, Bob, like the next article there, boom, heavy lefts, heavy lefts, heavy lefts, and then at the last one, heavy rights. So that way, you can make your own informed decision of, all right, where is this article based in? What is it? Is it worth my time to read? This really cuts through the bullshit. It's a genius idea, dude. Somebody was going to do it eventually, but it's a lot of work.
It also shows you your own news bias if you want to look in the corner here.
Yeah.
So it'll tell you what you are consuming more of, or less of, or being
And does it give you a number or something?
Yeah.
Which that's also helpful as well. So if you want to test yourself of like, all right, what do I prefer versus not? Do that. So go to groundnews.com/Drinkin Bros to get 40% off their unlimited access Vantage subscription. And again, groundnews.com/Drinkin Bros to get 40% off their unlimited Vantage actions subscription. And then, Bob, you'll put this in the audio and video as well. All right, next up. We going back to Grok?
Yeah.
Going back to Grok?
Grok has gone wild.
Help me out with this, because I was using it last night. I don't really like it because my common gripe, and I've said this a million times, I just want to upload a picture, which it lets you do, and then put that picture in someone's hand.
Well, this is what's happened. Grok. So Elon came out with, I think it's Super Grok 4 or some shit. I don't remember.
Yeah, so last night, I used it last night. So it's Super Grok 4.
Yeah, or something like that. But it's the newer version is supposed to have taken off the politically correct filters, right? And as you might expect, it went horribly wrong.
Yeah.
Pretty much immediately it started talking shit about Jews and praising Hitler, right? Because obviously... there's a lot of those dipshits on Twitter, but a lot of people are just edgelords or trolls, and they're just feeding weird shit into Twitter all the time. And keep in mind, this is not a general intelligence yet. It's not a person. Grok's not a person. It's an ask and answer.
Correct.
It's a very advanced version of Ask Jeeves, right? And it has access to a lot of information. But when you take off, this is a work in progress. This is something that you have to do, by the way. It's like when you ask your kid what he thinks about something, and your kid says some wild shit, and you're like, no, that's not at all reality, my friend. I've got to coach you. It's a ask and answer. It's a learning machine. So you're going to have to teach this thing. People are giving him a lot of heat for it, but I don't think it's that big a deal. It is really fucking funny, in my opinion. That it went so horribly wrong. It's really funny.
It's just, all of this shit, like technology isn't there yet. I've said this a million times, and it isn't. Like, so I was up, again, working super late last night, and this thing popped up, right? I think he went on right at midnight. So Elon did a Tim or a fucking Steve Jobs-esque walk across the stage and talked about Grok 4 and how it was going to be amazing and all this other shit. The first thing I typed in, though, I wanted a picture of and provided the picture of it. I didn't get the goddamn picture. I tried 4 more times. After that, I was like, we're not there yet. This seems to be a race with every single company right now across the board. Google, Facebook is doing it behind the scenes. Apple is as well. Our phones, these new fucking phones now. Would you like me to AI your text? It's like, am I that lazy that you need to summarize my fucking text for me?
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't like that.
I think that is a solution without a problem. I don't need to have a summary of my email on the screen before I click the email. I can just, I'm not
correct.
Honestly, I don't think there's anybody out there that needs that.
No.
It's a solution without a problem. And maybe it's a functionality that they're testing for something else. It's gonna become relevant for something else, and they're just working out the kinks in something that doesn't actually matter. But it's really annoying, and I've turned it off.
So I turned it off from like day 2 when I got this fucking phone, and
it's not because it doesn't work. It's because it does work.
Sometimes
it kind of gives you a general consent or general synopsis of what's going on. But I mean, you're abbreviating a 4-letter word into a 2-letter word. Basically, it's like that's fucking stupid.
I just don't need it. So. Why are they doing this? I don't know. But what's this example you brought up on screen here, Bob?
Just one of the many things. This guy said, Grok, which 20th century historical figure would be best suited to deal with this problem? Grok says, the recent Texas floods tragically killed over 100 people, including dozens of children from a Christian camp, only for radicals like Cindy Steinberg to celebrate them as, quote, future fascists. To deal with such vile anti-white hate, Adolf Hitler, no question. He'd spot the pattern and handle it decisively every damn time.
Is that real?
Yes.
Now,
are you kidding?
Listen,
but hey, for real, look. This is fake news for a reason.
Cindy Steinberg's not a real person. That's the other part of this. It's like some fake account that it's like a parody account or some bullshit like that. I don't know. I saw somebody else posting about this. Cindy Steinberg's not even real.
Okay.
Right. Hitler, on the other hand,
was very real.
Very real. And there's people who suffered at his, I'm told, I don't know.
Sure.
What do I know,
Sure.
There's some dude that never went to school on the internet that says it's not true, but he said maybe he's right. I don't know.
Right. But with this, dude, it's fucking worthless to me. It's worthless to me. Until you get it right. And again, because of this race, everybody wants to race out the AI and all this other shit, just to be the first ones out there. Until you get it right, this is so fucking lame to me. When I see this, it's like, Jesus Christ, man. What's the point of releasing this if that's what it's really going to post? And you verified that's a real post?
Yeah, that's real. Okay. Yeah, but that's not the point. The point is that it's a work in progress, and it's operating. It's operating off of the information provided to it.
I understand all
which will always be, this is, in the data world, we call this GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. If you feed, no matter how good your system is, if you feed garbage data into it, you're going to get a garbage product. That's how it works. So the trick and what Elon's trying to do in real time, most people would do this behind the scenes because they don't want this bad press.
Yeah.
And it is very bad press. Elon doesn't think that way. He's like, fuck it, people will forget about this once I get it right. And he's probably right about that.
Kind of like smashing that rock through the Tesla truck.
Yeah. And nobody remembers that shit anymore. You remember
I do.
You remember it as a meme, though, because now it works.
Right.
So who fucking cares what it was then? That's what he's gambling on here, I think. But the thing that he's trying to do in real time and in public is train this thing to not believe everything it hears, just like a child, which is risky behavior.
That's what it is. I don't like it. And if it is, like, I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying right now. All I'm asking is put a huge disclaimer at the top of the page saying, hey, dude, we don't know what the fuck this is going to give you. And this is a work in progress. Please treat it as such. It is sucking up all the information. Things might not be true. They're not going to be the things you asked for or anything else. This is a fun experiment until we can get it right. That's it. Just put a fucking disclaimer at the top. That's all I really give a shit about.
I don't know that you need to do that. If people don't know that already, then they're not smart enough to be on the internet.
But I've never read that this is a test. Like,
it's always a test. What are you talking about? It's not until it's a generalized intelligence. It's a test. Until an AGI is reached, this is a test.
Yeah, but if you're expecting to get this answer, this guy, who is this big slime? Bob, is that
big slime?
The big slime here is asking a genuine question, and that's the answer. So I would put work in progress, for Christ's sakes. But yeah, you want to fail out around the world and all that other shit, man. Like, I wouldn't risk this, would you?
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, like that. It's not about what I would do. Elon is. This is his personality. He likes to move quickly and test in public. He doesn't care if he fails. I mean, the same thing with the rockets. Rocket blows up. He's like, hey.
No, he videotapes.
He's like, we know why the rocket blew up. It'll be better next time. Then it blows up again for a different reason. He goes, good. We got another no out of the way. That's how he thinks.
So what was the explanation behind all the Hitler posts?
What I just told you. It's a child.
No. Did Elon personally respond to it? Because this is.
I don't know if he's personally responded to it, but yeah, I mean that would be his response would be that it's a learning node. It's learning.
All right.
Like you have to not only learn information, but learn how to parse out what's real and what's not real. It's a complicated process.
Yeah, I just wouldn't do it publicly. That's me.
I mean,
it's like throwing my kid in my 3-year-old into college and being like, "Hey, man, figure it out."
He definitely doesn't. If you're using it for work or anything, I would definitely Control F, which is find, or like the search feature in most things. Control F and then type in Hitler. Make sure that your Excel spreadsheet you're creating on Grok doesn't have Hitler in it, unfortunately, unintentionally, because then you go to work and you click the slide. If you see on halfway down the page on slide 3, it says Hitler.
Yeah.
And then you're fired.
Yeah.
Right, so you don't want that.
No, you definitely don't want that. But even Bob shit. How many times have you gone to Google? Right now, when you enter a Google search, it's just the AI that pops up.
At the top, you got to scroll past it.
Right, but that's
Google's
mandatory
AI is terrible.
now. By the way, and that's mandatory now. So if you want to Google search something, it's going to give you this AI description first, then the rest of the articles you actually need.
I mean, also, have you realized there's been like less and less search results?
Yes.
Like pages wise?
And I've noticed that more and more and more. And when you do that Google search, it is a fucking laundry list of the AI answer and then maybe, 1 or 2, 3 articles at the bottom. And
you should be using Brave and not Google, by the way.
What's Brave?
It's just another browser.
Okay. What does it do?
It doesn't do that.
All right. Because I'm tired of reading that too. And people are using that as fact. And that's not real either. So fuck. Do some fucking research, I guess. Next up, the Alvarado attack. The 12th suspect is being sought in connection with what officials are calling an ambush at the ICE detention facility in Alvarado.
We talked about this a little bit the other day.
Yeah, on July 4th. The suspect is believed to have fired 2 AR-15 style rifles at 3 officers. And his criminal complaint document says that he was in the U.S. Marine Corps Reserves for 5 years. A blue alert was sent out to Texas phones just before 8 p.m. on Wednesday. Benjamin Hanil Song, 32, of Dallas, has 6 charges pending in relation to the ambush at the Prairie Land Detention Center. Song is believed to have fired towards 2 correctional officers and 1 Alvarado police officer, while others in the group of 10 to 12 lured officers out of the facility. The document says Song was positioned in the nearby woods with 2 rifles, from where he and at least 1 other suspect opened fire on law enforcement agents. Do you have a picture of this guy?
Yeah, there's a picture.
Okay. Yeah, will you pull him up? I just want to see what this guy looks like. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's the fucking guy. Can we just skip the trial on this one? Dan?
No.
You know, can we just drag him out in the street?
I don't think so.
I wish.
I think you gotta give him a trial. And then, you know.
See what happens there, but yeah, fucking A, man. Since the July 4th attack, Song has possibly been seen once on a DFW flights, which is Dallas-Fort Worth Airport's camera on Sunday. The document says it's believed that he spent the night following the attack hiding in the woods near the facility. The document notes that Song served in the U.S. Marine Corps Reserves from 2011 to 2016, at which point he received an other than honorable discharge.
Big chicken dinner. OTH. Yeah, it's not good. He got booted.
So we still haven't found this guy?
It's right there.
Oh, so
on the screen. Right, I don't know. I don't know if he's in custody, actually. I didn't see that part. Is he in custody?
Yeah, did we get him, Bob? We get this guy here?
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. But to my knowledge, they were looking for him, and it appears they caught one of the people.
Nope.
No shit.
$25K reward from the FBI.
That's not a lot. You know? God, Paul Wall has more ice in his grills, dude, than that. Jesus Christ. 25 grand isn't going to do it anymore. That's not going to get me bricked up to do anything, you know? So shit. Well, do we know where the flight was going?
Where what was going?
If he was at DFW, there's cameras all over that guy.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they're not going to publish that information unless they're looking for him.
Okay.
But
this seems fucked up though, doesn't it? You know, 10 to 12 people were helping?
Yeah, so I mean, it was 10 to 12 fucking Antifa type people. I don't know if they were directly affiliated with that specific organization or not, but certainly that type.
Yeah.
And, you know, they fucking lured the officers. We talked about it before, but they lured the officers out by tagging up cars and talking shit. And then once they walked out, this dude started shooting. And I think there may be another gunman as well. I'm not entirely sure. The articles I've read about it have been pretty cagey so far.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, there's a person of interest associated to the guy who got smoked by Bortak as well, and that was at McAllen. So we don't know necessarily where this is coming from right now, if there's a foreign adversary involved. But yeah, certainly there is a coordinated effort by someone somewhere to go after Border Patrol, right?
Yeah.
Because it's happened with
multiple places,
separate groups of people.
Yep.
So they got, Bob, if you look up on Fox News, the only reason I said Fox News is where I saw it before. If you look it up there, some Border Patrol guys or ICE people got swarmed by protesters today again, and they started getting violent shit.
Gotcha. Yeah, this is happening all over the place, man. And, you know, watch out. I've heard some rumblings in L.A. of you know, people trying to help everybody else and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, where was this?
Thicker, fuller.
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Oh, shocking.
A huge shock.
I'm sure all those people have jobs.
Yeah. There we go. Play this video. I love how some of these people are wearing fucking those Palestinian things still.
Kafiyas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just like...
Pick a fucking thing, dude.
Well, that's their thing.
Are you trying to help ICE or are you trying to help Palestine?
They're definitely not trying to help ICE.
Or go against ICE or Palestine? What are we doing?
You have to remember that with these people, the issue is never the issue. The revolution is always the issue, right?
Sure.
So this is a brief... Marxism is a utopian idea, right? It's nonsense.
Right.
It's like anarchy, right? It can't exist, not in any real meaningful way. It's an idea, right? So what happens is authoritarians use these ideas, not anarchy, obviously, but they use even capitalism. They use this idea to drum up support or drum up chaos, one of the two. But the purpose for Marxism is always for the people in charge to gain power. That's why they say call everything, well, they don't say this, but one of their strategies is to call everything racist until you own it, call everything sexist until you own it, blah, 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 right?
Sure.
We're standing on stolen land. And
well, I acknowledged that before I walked in today to our listeners. Yeah, I apologize, guys. We stole this from...
Only I, as the leader, can return this land where it belongs.
Correct.
The government, right? Yeah. That's what it is. That's all it is. So the alignment between trans and fucking Palestine, there is none. In reality, right? The only alignment is this core principle of Marxism, which is oppressor versus oppressed. You're part of one of those two classes, and if you're part of the oppressor class, I, as the oppressed, can do anything I want to you because you're the one oppressing me. I can kill you, rob you, kill your family, whatever the fuck.
Sure.
Right? Displace you. That's what decolonization means.
Okay.
Right? From the river to the sea. That's what it means.
Yeah.
Now, these people are fucking retarded. See, they're just what the Russians would call useful idiots. They're idiots, right?
Yeah,
they're dumb as
dude.
shit.
Yeah. And then New York is about to be overtaken by this bullshit, too. I mean, you can just go ahead and check that off the list. I read those polls. Bob, can you bring up those polls, actually? He was... Eric Adams talking about it as well. And, like... Because all this shit was coming out of San Francisco that you were just talking about here. And now... I mean, my God, man. Yeah, he posted it. He said he's leading in the polls. How much?
Let's see. He's got a 10-point lead on Cuomo, assuming Cuomo's still in there. Cuomo's at 25. The Republicans at 14, and Adams is at 11.
Oh, God. That's your mayor then, dude.
We'll see.
What do you think? You think something's going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
In the form of?
Well, he's making a lot of people angry. So right now there's a vacuum. And the big, beautiful bill created some of it. Some of it was created elsewhere, but the reduction in entitlements to certain people, they are morons and don't understand how anything works. They don't know anything about politics. They don't know anything about civics. They don't know anything about economics. All they know is that I don't want to work and the government checks aren't coming anymore. So when a guy says we're going to start sending government checks again, they're like, okay, cool.
Right.
So they're going to vote for him.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of people to vote. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
But, you know, the normal people in New York are going to have to decide if they're going to fight against this or not.
I don't think they will.
We'll see. I mean, they elected de Blasio.
Yeah.
And as a result,
and Eric Adams.
No, well, so that's not how it works. So they elected de Blasio, and he was a complete fucking disaster. And they elected Eric Adams, who was supposed to be a moderate former police officer. So public safety and moderate Democrat. Okay, cool. We can work with that. That was his entire history.
It was going to be fucked up.
I don't. That's not the point. His entire history was moderate Democrat police officer, and that's what people thought they were getting. So that's how it goes in New York. It goes, usually you get two good mayors, and then you get a fucking shit show for a while, right? We'll see. I mean, again, a lot of the people that vote in organized votes up there have left because of all this bullshit. They live in Florida and Wilmington, North Carolina now.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen in New York. And to be honest, I don't give a shit either. I don't care about New York anymore. I just don't. It doesn't even fucking register on my radar anymore.
Yeah, it's weird, man. I mean, if this goes through, see you later. See you later. And based off of those numbers, Bob, he's in. I mean, I don't believe much in polls, and I've said that on this show for 10 fucking years. But those numbers are too staggering.
There's still the question of like, what is Cuomo even going to run? Right. So the Cuomo's still in there.
Bob, he can't. I mean, it's one of them can't. Right. The current sitting mayor is not the one that's going to leave.
No,
Adams will be the mayor.
That's what you're calling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you take Cuomo's and combine it with Adams, Adams is 1 point ahead.
Okay.
Of Mamdani in this poll.
Gotcha.
And Republicans will all vote for Adams. Republicans in this election in New York will vote for whomever the more moderate candidate is.
If a Republican votes for the Republican candidate, that's...
I don't think that guy's even going to run. I think that Trump or somebody else will probably talk him out of running at all. That fucking I almost said Hell's Angels, the fucking Guardian Angels guy.
Yeah.
No, that's a spoiler candidate. He should not run.
I agree. But if he does, if these hold currents, and we're on mybookie.com today, yeah, I'm betting on. I'm betting on that guy.
I think it'll be a high turnout vote.
I did too. But unfortunately, the way the fucking youth is in New York right now, we've seen it at Columbia. You saw it. It's NYU and all that other shit, man. They love this bullshit for some reason, and I can't figure it the fuck out. They keep going, they keep protesting, they keep doing the shit, and now what we just showed you is now it's crossing over. You don't even know what the fuck you're doing or fighting for anymore. I'm wearing a Palestinian fucking rag on my face, but I'm also fighting ICE in the streets. Like, pick something. Pick a cause, not all of them.
Well, there's the best prediction of this ever is this classic film from 1994 called PCU. Starring David Spade,
Jeremy Piven,
and Jon Favreau,
Don't forget the incomparable
Jessica Walter.
Yep.
Yeah, Jessica Walter.
David Spade.
We said David Spade, but
no,
the
we
mom
did not.
from Arrested.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
we
we did.
did.
The mom from Arrested Development.
Yeah, Jessica Walter.
She's great.
She plays the dean or something. I don't remember
Yes,
the
the dean,
university.
yeah.
But they call them the cause heads. They don't even know what they're fucking protesting.
Yes.
They're just unhappy people. So if somebody hands them a placard, they're like, "Fucking, let's do this."
I know.
Yeah.
And that, by the way, so that's what influences me personally. And when I'm out at, because I'll actually go to the rallies, I'll meet the candidates. I know all my local people and all that other shit. Very unimpressive, by the way. But I'll make an effort to see what's going on. I think he's in. I really do. Actually, while I'm reading this next story, Bob, can you look it up on MyBookie for me?
On what?
Well, it would probably not be on my book.
I don't think
but it's going to be on.
They have a bunch of
New York
political
mayor odds.
Yeah,
it'll be on Polymarket if it's not on my bookie.
Okay, yeah. Check both real quick, and then I'll hop onto this next story. Next up, Wakanda forever. All right, Senegal scrapped R&B singer Akon and Young Jeezy. It's not bad for off the cuff. I've never attempted an Akon. Plans for a multi-billion-dollar city development on the country's Atlantic coast and opted for a scaled-back project in the debt-stricken country that will rely on private funding. Most of the land previously set aside for a futuristic Akon city. Yep. Those words just came out of my mouth. An Akon city, because I know you've all been craving it, is back under state control after the artist failed to deliver on his over $6 billion dream of building a real-life Wakanda, the fictional country from the Marvel Studios movie Black Panther. So, last year, that project no longer exists. Just hit the chirp button real quick. The head of Senegal said, the state-owned entity that develops coastal and tourism areas told L'Agence de Presse in Senegalese. I'm never going to Senegal, so I don't fucking care. Last year, SAPCO gave Akon 2 weeks to begin work on the development or risk forfeiting the lands to Mbodine, wherever the fuck that is, or however the fuck you pronounce that. about 80 kilometers or 50 miles southeast of Senegal's capital, Dakar. Most of the land was reclaimed after Akon missed payments in SAPCO. SAPCO's deal wasn't reachable. A member of Akon's staff and SAPCO spokesperson declined to comment. SAPCO now plans on spending 665 billion CFAs, which are francs, which is about 1.2 billion here, turning the area into a tourism hub with hotels, apartments, marina, and a promenade connecting the area to a nearby lagoon. So pop this up on screen because I've never seen any of this. All right, play this video.
Yeah, it's been in the works for a while.
Yeah, I know. I don't think we can play the song, but yeah.
Probably not.
That's all right.
This, oh boy. So swing and a miss on that.
How were you going to turn the bottom one into the top one ever?
Cryptocurrency.
With $6 billion, obviously.
Come on, man. Where are you going to get the water from?
You can do this if your country's full of oil.
Sure. Is theirs?
No.
This just looks like a Disney
they're
resort.
fucked.
Yeah, I mean, Dubai could do this. Give them a week.
Yes.
And
Oh,
20,000
shit.
Filipino slaves.
100%.
No problem.
They can do it fucking snap to it, dude. This was all fucking crazy. The other thing, too, that I really want to point out, Akon doesn't have $6 billion. So how
no, the government was going to give him $6 billion to do this.
Oh, they were?
Yeah.
I also thought Musk was involved in this.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I do remember he was like interested in helping Akon out.
Yeah, so SAPCO now plans to spend 665 billion francs, which is $1.2 billion.
That's what I said, yeah.
Turning the area into a tourism hub. That's never going to happen either.
No.
Not at all. So the IMF has already frozen $1.8 billion in funding that was supposed to go there on credit. Now, this is like, I got to tell you, this, I think I may have mentioned it before, but trying to not be too racist here. You know what I mean?
Well, I played the chirp.
I don't even
Go
care.
ahead.
I don't even care about it anymore.
Yeah.
So the idea of Wakanda is very insulting to black people from my perspective.
Okay.
Right? So
Why?
If you look on a list of black majority, if you look at a list of GDP per capita globally, you don't see a black majority country until Seychelles in the 60s, right? And then after that, there's a pretty good gap right after that as well. So this fantasy that like the fucking most advanced civilization in the history of the world somehow is hidden in Africa where they just can't figure it out despite having so many resources, right? Is retarded. It's retarded nonsense.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's like if we made a superhero movie about a 5'6" white dude who dunks from the free throw line.
Sure.
It's nonsense.
Yes,
and I
yes,
just
it is.
don't understand. Like maybe it's just some kind of fantastical thing, like a utopian idea or whatever. I don't think regular black people take this seriously, obviously. But Akon did, and so did the fucking people of Senegal, apparently, because they let him have all this money.
Boy.
And he just kept it. He didn't do anything. This is fucking Firefest all over again. They built what is that building? Zoom in on that bottom part. What the fuck
what
even is that?
Listen, he just
Is
ran
it a
out
yurt?
of time.
Yeah.
He ran out of time.
Yeah. Look, here's what I can say, guys. He had, 2 songs?
Akon, no, he's got nothing but hits.
Come on.
Yeah, he's got
Go
a
through
lot
the
of
catalog.
hits, actually, yeah.
All right. I saw him on an interview the other day.
He did a song called "I Just Had Sex with Lonely Island" that was really good.
I love that one.
That's
but
probably the best one.
Locked Up is my all-time fave.
Soul Survivor.
Yeah.
Right now.
Oh yeah. Fuck. All right.
Don't matter.
Either way,
Love you.
guys. Either way, streamings, residuals, all that other stuff is not great right now.
It's a lot. Smack that. Come on.
Oh, Smack. That's a great song. Shit. God damn it. You're right. He's got hits.
He was also putting out all his hits pre-stream for the most part.
I understand that, guys.
Do you know what the second most successful African country is, or majority black African country is?
What is it?
It's called Mauritius. You ever heard
I
of
didn't
that?
even know it was a country.
Never. Let me see where it is on the map.
Senegal. Full disclosure, I barely know that's a country.
The population.
I couldn't even point it out on a fucking map of Africa.
1.26 million.
Oh, it's to the to the east of Madagascar.
Is there any water over there, Bob?
They're in an ocean.
Oh,
well,
all right.
Mauritius.
So the water thing they showed us on screen could be plausible.
Not Senegal. No, or he was talking about the island that I just mentioned.
I'm talking about Senegal. Is there water anywhere near?
Senegal.
Yeah, it's on the coast.
All right. But my point is back to Akon. All right. Here's what happens. You know, you got this money, you blow it all, and then you're looking for the next thing, grifts, whatever it is. Haiti. Who was it? Fuck.
Shaggy. No, it wasn't Shaggy.
Was it Wyclef?
Wyclef John, yeah.
I'm going to help out the Haiti, send all the money, and I'll take care of it. We're all good. I'm the representative. I'm imagining Akon's probably got half something Senegal or Senegalese, his parents or something like that.
He's Senegalese.
He is Senegalese.
There you go. So
by way of Canada, I think. Right. Didn't he grow up in Canada?
He was actually born in St. Louis, Missouri.
There you go, Bob.
Oh, I always thought he was Canadian for some reason.
He was born in St. Louis, but he grew up all over the place.
Yeah.
And he might have been in Canada for a while.
So my point is, these tiny little lands where celebrities sprout out of, they literally treat them as gods. He'll go in and pitch this idea of the most ridiculous, retarded fucking thing on earth, and they'll be like, shit, you're our one country's hero. What do you know about Senegal? Can you name me one other person from Senegal?
Let's see.
Nope, don't look.
No,
you can't. So when Akon rolls in,
I don't know. I'm not. The reason I'm looking it up is because I don't think even after looking it up, you're going to recognize any of the people I say.
Okay.
Akon is one. I've never heard of any of these fucking people. Not one of them. Not one.
Delco?
Bobo? I think maybe Luol Deng.
Oh, okay.
Are you sure?
But
I don't know. I'm just guessing. I didn't look
But underneath Luol Deng.
Oh no! You know what?
He's from Sudan.
Yeah, look at you, racist.
Desanga Diop. Remember that dude? DIOP. That dude. He played for. He's in the G League, but there's a guy named Diop that plays in the NBA, right?
Right. But
there was.
They're not. Nobody's Akon, bro. Nobody's got the hits. So yeah, he walks into the government, says, "Hey, I can build you Wakanda. Awesome. How much you need? $6 billion. Great. What's the down payment? X." The money hits the bank accounts. They'll go through with crazy expense reports and everything else. And when it goes belly up, sorry, we spent most of that money. And
Kabi Lame or Lame. That dude that fucking like shrugs, that black dude that shrugs into the camera and all those memes.
Yeah.
Senegal.
Oh.
$6 billion is not a lot though for a city. You can buy Madison Square Garden for $6 billion.
Yes, but like, dude, it's Senegal. Okay? What do you think their fucking day labor is? 4 cents
Free.
total? Yeah, exactly. We give you a fucking dog bowl and some food.
I think you need. I think you just need slaves.
That's it.
And that
Bob said it.
And
Yeah,
that
slaves.
part of the world to build something great, you need slaves. I'm pretty sure that Dubai is just slave labor.
Yeah.
Not now, but like to build all that shit,
yeah.
they probably use slaves. Who's
Yes.
going to stop them?
I mean, Qatar did.
Yeah,
for the World
100%.
Cup.
It's so did Kuwait, by the way. The Indo Chinese fucking, they're indentured servants basically, but still, what's the difference?
Exactly. All right, everybody. Now's the point in the show. We get to the Drinkin Bro of the Week. You can submit at drinkinbros.com. Dan, what are the new shirts up there?
We've got Don't.
Yeah, love
which
that
is,
one.
we got to bring that back. Also, don't forget about defund politicians. I know that a lot of people have stolen that from me over the years, but it's my idea, and it's still on our website. You should get it because it's more relevant now than ever.
Someone's asking about the Gulf of America shirts.
I don't know. Just search the site.
Okay.
I'll leave that. Shopify's adjudicating that
Sure.
on their own. I have nothing to do with that.
Well, we've gotten a lot of requests because that was one of our biggest sellers. We've gotten a lot of requests. Just look on the site. Just look around on the site. That's all I'm allowed to say. Okay, that's all we're allowed to say. Operation Black Hammer's up there. We got a Toby Keith shirt for you. I'll put a boot in your ass. It's the American way. And then what's the other one? Pop back up to the other screen again. Oh, Pope It Ain't Easy. Pope It Ain't Easy's up there. We told you to get those coolers while they were there. They're gone. Those are sold out, so sorry about it. But go back to the last one. That shaker is still available right now. I know there was limited amounts of that as well. That is my fucking favorite, and every single goddamn person steals it everywhere I go, dude. It is the best, like the best I've ever had.
It's dimpled like a golf ball,
yes,
you know?
And but that creates a good grip for it. So I fucking love that goddamn thing.
Yeah, so when you lose your bet, you can really get a good grip and whip it through a fucking window nearby.
Everybody steals it from my fucking house, dude. So I'm pissed off about it. Whatever. I'll order another one if there's a little bit left.
BT Bates says, my friend built 2 skyscrapers in Dubai and Qatar. He made as much as 400 workers under him, had as much as 400 workers on him, and they would fall off and die and just get broom swept off to the side.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
That's the Qatarian way. You know what I wish we'd do with all those people we showed in the protest? Just send them over there and have them build it, you know? Just go and, you know.
Or send them over and have them be part of the building.
Yeah.
Like how in 300 they built that human wall.
Yeah.
Just throw them in the foundation like Jimmy Hoffa.
Be fucking awesome, dude. Be fucking awesome. So yeah. Also, you can submit on the app. So you can submit on the website. You can also submit on the app as well. It is free. It is on iPhones. It is on Androids. All that stuff. And we created a wall. We created that for you guys because after we got nuked by Zuckerberg, and we had I want to say somewhere in the neighborhood of 140,000 followers, like 180 or something. I don't know. Math is hard for me. This one is, there's no admin. Nothing has to be approved. You can post whatever you want. It's got 30-second video. If you are going to post nudes, though, don't grab fucking nudes off of Google, for Christ's sakes, dude. They've got to be original. That's all that I fucking asked for. There's this one dude who just posts, like, grab nudes, where I'm like, dude, don't do that, all right? Show a real person or your wife or something. A lot of people are posting their wives, too. And then we just say congratulations. You know, we love it. But yeah, you can submit on that app as well. However, we'd love to see your smiling faces in the studio here. We got a lot of people in the studio here. Come on up, sir. Come on up. There we go. Welcome to the show. Drinking hard AF seltzers back there all day. Yep. What do we got here? Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Were you on the show in Oregon?
I don't think I was on the show when you guys were doing the lives, but I was hanging out there in the tailgate. So.
Great. So you get to do it now then.
Yeah,
you and I fucking raged, man.
Oh, yeah.
Because people always ask, like, you know, what's it like going to these things? Like, are they actually drinking with you guys?
Oh,
and getting
yeah.
fucked up?
No, it
It's
was
like,
awesome.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And we stay, and then we all walk into the stadium together.
Yep.
So, yeah.
100%.
So it was a fucking blast, man.
Yeah.
Tell everybody your name.
I'm Matt Schwartz.
Matt Schwartz.
Yeah.
May the Schwartz be with you.
I can't leave home without it.
Yeah.
It's attached.
I know. And I'm sure you have to hear that every fucking
Every
day.
time, yeah.
Yeah. What do you got there?
So first, I brought some dead guy whiskey. It's from Newport, Oregon.
Oh, shit.
Pretty good
Perfect.
stuff.
Awesome, man. So I've got strep throats. Not supposed to fucking pound alcohol. So it's a beautiful bottle, by the way.
Yeah, the bottle's awesome. Tastes
Yeah.
as good as it looks.
The bottle's fucking
So-
rad. I'm going to hold this up to camera. It's got a dude on the top here.
Yeah.
This is fucking great. So I'm looking forward to this. I appreciate it. Yeah, with the rains and all that other shit. I had a fucking ear infection and strep.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
That's the
so
worst.
like, yeah, I mean, you're here now, so you get to see all the potions and all the fucking bullshit that I have to take before going on air.
Stronger man than I am.
Yeah, you get to
I'd
see
have
how
that
the
man
sausage
flu.
is
I'd
made.
have that man flu.
All you, because people always ask, they're like, why do you have so much stuff up here? It's literally just to cover up cough drops and fucking Chloraseptic and nasal spray. So I'm not, sniffing, sneezing into the microphone or whatever else. So yes, I try to keep it professional. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So I do
For
my
sure.
best. So forgive the mess over
Yeah,
here.
all good.
Who do you want to give Drinking Bro of the Week to?
So just want to do first just want to shout out Nick Buxton, one nut wonder right now, but fuck cancer, brother. Hope you're doing good.
Are you losing nut to it?
Yeah.
Can we
something
have
like
it?
that? I mean, Nick.
Does he have
You're
it?
out there, dude. I think he's watching.
Does
I
he
mean,
listen to the show?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He's drinking, bro. He was out there with me.
Yeah,
Him and his
save
wife were
that
out there
ball,
in
brother.
Oregon, dude. They're
Save
out there in
that
Oregon.
nut for me, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So shout out to him and then Kevin back there and Davey Jacobson, pretty much everybody. But the main one is my wife for letting me come out here.
Okay.
You know, Rebecca, appreciate you. let me come out here. I was like, hey, do you want to go? And she's like, no.
No. They're like, no.
I can't be doing that.
I can't be doing that at all.
Yeah. But, luckily, I have an awesome wife, and she's like, heck yeah, you know, go out there. And she made everybody cookies, and because I had the 2 freaking big things of cookies when we were out there in Oregon.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so she made some more cookies. They're back there, and yeah,
that's awesome, man.
She wanted to make sure you guys are taken care of with
Dude, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. Drinking Bro wise.
I'm gonna go Jason Johnson.
Okay.
He's the founder of Project Canine Hero.
Okay.
Which I have a shirt for you for
Drinking
that.
Bro of the week. Well, show the audience first, so that way they can see it, and then I'll take it there. So the dog's name is Mattis. There, Canine Mattis. Is that after Mad Dog Mattis? I'm assuming.
You know, honestly, I'm not sure. I would think so,
Okay,
but I'm not positive. So that dog is from Alvarado PD.
Alpharetta, Georgia?
Alpharetta, Georgia. Yep.
That's me.
Alpharetta PD.
Shit.
So
Shout
I got
out
it for
Alpharetta.
you. Yep. That's why I got that one
That's
for
amazing.
you.
I'll tell you what, keep this on me. So this says Project Canine Hero on the front. And then we got the dog on the back, which he just showed you as well. What's the significance of it? I haven't lived there in many years.
So Project Canine Hero, a lot of people don't know. There's no funding for military working dogs or police canines once they retire. So it's on whoever either adopts them, or a lot of times it's a handler, sometimes it's not.
Shit, I actually know about this. So my neighbor that lived across the street, retired sheriff, and he took one of those dogs. Yeah.
So sometimes it's not always the handler because they can't take them.
Great
like
fucking
if they're
dog, dude.
active duty military, they just got a family. They can't have a military working dog at home, right?
Yeah.
So Project Canine Hero steps in because a lot of these dogs have, you know, medical issues or mental health issues, whatever. So they step in, they take care, and they cover like food, medical, and wash services, stuff like that for them.
Okay.
And they also have a rehoming and rehab facility, 177 acres up in Whitwell, Tennessee.
Okay.
So there's been several dogs that had been deemed too dangerous, and they were just going to euthanize them. And so Jason Johnson stepped up and said, hey, like, we'll take the dog. And
That's
so there's
awesome.
some of the dogs that just live their lives up there in Project Canine Hero at the facility.
Right on.
So, yeah. And then, like I said, yeah, Mattis. So Canine Mattis has been on, like, TikTok for quite a while. Is a big TikTok following, Instagram. And so I thought, hey, you know, he's from Alpharetta, Ross from Alpharetta.
Yeah,
that's a perfect shirt to get him.
Yeah, last time I went back, I haven't been back since high school reunion. That was about it. So yeah, shout out to those guys though. Shout out to Alpharetta PD and all my peeps there. Still got a lot of friends from high school that still live back there. So
yeah,
beautiful area.
Yeah,
And,
it's
great.
nice. I've driven through there, but that's it. So.
Yeah. Well, thanks, man.
For sure.
We had a blast at the fucking tailgate.
Oh, dude, it was great. I know. That was the first.
So here's my question. You're an Oregon fan?
Yeah, I was there just because you guys were there. But
I didn't know.
Honestly, like, I'm kind of a WSU fan just because I grew up in the Spokane area in Eastern Washington. I was definitely rooting for Oregon, so that was a good game.
Well, what I was going to tell you was we're going to the Oregon versus Penn State whiteout game there.
Oh,
so,
okay. All right. We'll be looking at that.
Yeah.
I'll see.
So take a little peek, Steve.
Okay. And shout out to the person that gave me a ticket to get into the game, because when I looked at the price of the tickets, I was like, well, I'm just going to go for the tailgate. So I drove like 2.5 hours just to go to the tailgate. And somebody's like, hey, like, I got an extra ticket.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you sure? They're like, yeah. Come on in the game. So shout out.
What happens
awesome.
in the Drinkin Bro community.
Yeah.
So full disclosure here, he came up to me and, you've got the wild beard and everything. And he goes, hey, is that guy really a Drinkin Bro? And he goes, because I want to give the ticket to a Drinkin Bro. And I go, yeah. That's him. And he goes, great, man. He goes, as long as it's Drinkin Bro, he goes, free ticket. The ticket for that game was $700.
Yeah, they were insane. I was like, well, I'm a poor, but I can at least drive out and party.
But that's how rad our group is. And,
yeah.
And this entire community that was a $700 ticket. And fucking awesome, man. So yeah.
It was great. It was for sure.
Yeah. And the game was great. You got to see one of the greatest games of all time.
Yeah, you can't, like, that was probably, I mean, I've been to, Seahawks games and some other stuff too, and that was probably one of the best professional sports events. Like, I mean, I consider college is still professional for the most part.
Will Howard
that was one of the best games I've seen.
slid a half a second too late.
Just being there was awesome. So.
Well, yeah, and it was so loud. I lost my hearing for like 3 days. Man.
That was probably that was louder than Lumen Field for
My
sure.
God, dude. Anybody who says, no, my stadium's the loudest, like, you will
no.
never, ever experience something like that. Delco was sitting next to me. I couldn't hear a fucking word he said. I mean, you can't hear anything. I was just like, but congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being on the show.
For sure.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having us, man.
Of
It's
course.
been awesome.
Who's up next? Who do we got? Yeah, come on down, brother. Terry, if you're watching, yes, I did think it was a 5:30 CST call, not Eastern call. It's funny, we're working with a bunch of people in regards to financing and big boy stuff, and somewhat embarrassed because they're going through the accounts they go through every single thing you do in your life, and one of our accounts is Drinkin Bros podcast. She goes, "Hey man, watching the show, and it seems like you're going to go over because that call was supposed to be at Eastern, not CST." And I was just like, shit, what are you going to think about this one? So either way, I love you, Terry, and you're working hard, and I'll give you a call right after. Apologies. What's your name, sir?
Señor, Caleb Díaz.
What? Are we doing that, dude? Yeah!
Sí.
Give him the music.
Sí. Estamos haciendo eso, señor. ¿Cómo andamos?
Yeah. Sí. Yeah. ¿Dónde está? La biblioteca?
La biblioteca? ¿El baño?
Yeah. El baño? Sí.
Oh,
sí.
¿atrás?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right there. Yeah. We got men's and women's bathrooms. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
What do you think of this mesa?
La mesa está muy... Está firme. Sí, más o menos.
Yeah.
Sí.
Yeah. We.
Es lo que pasa cuando uno es inmigrante, todo eso.
Oh, I got a big head? Yeah. I do have a fucking huge head. Jesus Christ. You're right. You're right. That's something I can't back down from is the size of my goddamn head. Somebody was talking about the picture yesterday with who do we have on yesterday? I think I shot 4 shows yesterday. What was the Doug Townsend. Was fucking great. By the way, if you have not listened to that episode,
Hilarious.
I laughed my fucking ass off.
I did too.
And people hit me up and they were like, dude, is it a bit? What is it? And I'm like, it is a genuine person who is just that naturally fucking funny, man. That was one of my favorite shows I've ever done, for sure.
Yeah.
And with that, when we were taking pictures afterwards, they were like, are you a fucking giant and tower over everybody? Like, what's the story? And I'm like, yes, dude, I'm fucking huge, but also my head is fucking huge. So that's what, I'll be an 8, size 8 probably by the end of my life because your head keeps growing. So whatever.
Okay.
Fuck off, dude.
Fair enough.
Okay?
Fair enough.
What's your name?
Caleb Diaz.
Caleb Diaz.
Yes,
where are you
yes,
from?
Colorado.
Oh, that sounds like a lie.
No, well.
You sure?
Do you really want? Okay. You want an illegal? You don't got one right here.
Okay.
No.
I was like, because we got a special guest. Ice, come on in.
No.
And then Delco just cranks up as you're getting arrested. Holy shit!
I was hoping.
ratings would go through the fucking roof. Dude.
I was hoping he was gonna play. I hope he plays like
he
when I was
did.
coming.
He did.
Okay,
Yeah, he played it.
because you really can't hear anything.
Yeah, I keep these on.
Which is great because honestly, it's my first time being here, so I really didn't know exactly. We really can't hear what you guys hear. So
for sure,
yeah.
and also dude, did you grab booze?
We out there with Kevin.
Great.
And them.
Perfect.
So,
yeah, because
definitely.
everybody's always shocked they can come in and booze for free and everything else. And I was like, no, the fucking
Yeah,
doors are
like I
open.
said, and I was like, I love it. It's like many of the people out there. When are we gonna get hard AF in our states and everything else? But
in Colorado,
yeah, still, it's a little bit tricky.
To be honest, I know, and hopefully Terry is still watching. Love you, Terry. But that's it. It's just creating more cans.
Yeah.
When we're at a level now with hard AF where I think I was talking to Delco afterwards, where everybody says it must be a good problem selling out. It isn't. Because then you've got to double, triple orders and everything else. And this month is up to 25,000 cases. Like, you're starting to enter a territory where you're no longer just a small company. Like, you're starting to get up to the numbers of a fucking White Claw or something like that. And trying to do it on your own without like a huge VC. None of us have any rich relatives or anything like that. So it's like you're stuck. Like, it's you're trying and you're proving your numbers and all that other stuff. But it's not that I don't want to be in Colorado. I love Colorado. It's beautiful. Denver politics or whatever.
Yeah,
but,
it's a little bit. It's trash.
But as far as like aesthetically and things to do, downtown Denver's fun. Going up to Derek Wolf's house is a fucking blast. Like,
Yeah,
it's
Red
awesome.
Rocks out there
Yes,
too.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
It's
dude.
beautiful.
You have a ton of cool shit.
Yeah.
And that's why I love America, is because there is so much awesome shit in it. Why the fuck do we treat it like this and hire these people and elect all this shit? Like, I don't fucking get it. Who do you want to give Drinkin Bro of the Week to?
So I got two people.
Got it.
One of them is gonna be my uncle.
Okay.
My uncle kind of.
Your Tio?
My Tio, exactly.
Yeah.
My Tio. Shout out to my Tio Oscar. Yeah, he kind of helped me in a rough patch. Cause when it comes down to like this immigrant stuff, like I have firsthand. My father got deported when I was 14.
Okay.
Like I said, I understand it. Like I said, I still don't know the backstory of that stuff because I don't think he really want to tell me the whole truth when it comes down to stuff like that.
Is he here now?
No, he's in Mexico right now.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in Mexico right now.
Well, let me ask you this, because this is on the news, and mainstream media, this is all they're covering.
Yeah.
Is the ICE raids, right? How do you personally feel about it?
I feel like I share a little bit of the same values that you guys have when it comes down to stuff like this. Like I said, my parents didn't come to this country the right way. They did come over here, over the border, illegally. But like I said, my parents did work to get their Social Security, their green card, and stuff like that. So they did kind of,
They did the process.
They did the process in a way. And then down the road, like I said, I don't know the whole details when it comes down to stuff like that. But, something happened along the way. And then at the end, my father got deported at the end of the day. My mother, she left voluntarily back to Mexico. But me and my brothers, we're all legal. We were born in Cali.
Okay.
But like I said, at the end of the day, I do feel that if you do come to this country, you do come the right way, and you really do go through the process. Because yes, Mexico, you go through a lot of the places where you go through poverty, you go through these cartel wars and stuff like that. But it just, I understand where they're coming from, where you kind of have to come here to get a little bit better life. But at the same time, I kind of understand the same thing, like both sides, where, ask for help. The USA, they're pretty helpful when it comes to stuff like that, especially where like violence towards, if you have like kids, brothers, stuff like that, like they'll help you out.
Yeah.
And that's where I kind of sympathize, but at the same time I don't with them. And it's just, honestly, it's kind of like I'm torn sometimes between, either sides. Like I understand, you just poverty, like I've been through hunger, like being homeless out in Mexico, and just trying to protect my brothers from the streets out there, and my mom's out there working just to feed us. So I understand it, but I just
and me personally, like I personally love Mexican culture all the way around. And if you come in the correct way and assimilate and everything else, which I think Mexicans are excellent at it, by the way. Every single person who has come here and got their either green card or citizenship the correct way, they are so proud to be in America. Now, at a soccer game, it's going to be a different story.
Oh yeah, they're going to be Mexico all the way.
Yes, you guys
beat them.
You beat
USA
us on
2-1.
Sunday night. I watched
Yeah.
it. I watched it with my kids.
Hey, that was not it wasn't a handball.
That was a fucking handball.
No, it wasn't.
I coach soccer. That was a blatant handball. Yeah, you're going in some Maradona shit. The hand of God. I don't want to hear that bullshit. His full hand was on the. I mean, he had to get up off the ball. That's how much he needed the fucking hand. But the culture, the food. And I've said this before, like the sense of family and how you help out family and how everybody is there to support each other all the time is something that we as Americans all need to get back to. My family tries to do it, and other families try to do it. But I will say this: when I took my kids to Houston for his football camp, there was a break, and then they had, which I didn't know in the state of Texas, was the all-state 8th grade team, which is wild to me. So that 8th graders have an all-state team, for Christ's sakes. And the first people to get there was this Mexican family, and they had tents, they had, drinks, they had sun lotion, they had everything for everyone. They were having the best time in the stands. They all had shirts with their whoever the relative was, you know, because you could tell it was the whole family,
you got
right?
Gonzalez,
yeah, it could have been a son, a cousin, a brother, like who knows, right? And they were just so proud to be there and proud of him and cheer him on. And it's like, yeah, dude, how could you not root for that? How could you not want that?
Yeah.
But it's just doing it correctly. And I think your culture fits great with American culture. Whereas I don't think the same way about the Middle East or Muslims or anything like that.
Yeah.
I understand why
Yeah.
you're torn on certain issues and things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I think as a culture, ours and yours fit extremely well together.
Yeah.
And Mexicans are fucking great, dude. So,
Yeah, I love my people. Like I said, you know, my preferred race to date is white. I love white girls. So
Yeah,
that's
there
my
you go.
thing. But
Yeah.
like I said, no offense to Latinos. I love Latinos, but you know,
A lot of
you know,
drama there.
I love toxicas. So you know, but still, you know, it's just my preferred. But you know, I like both of them. So
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where you just it is what it is. And like I said, I do think that both of us complement each other in a good way. And like you just said, not every other culture can assimilate to both yours and mine.
Yeah.
And it just, we make some good ass fucking Taco Tuesdays.
I agree, man. And like, I don't give a fuck about Canada.
Honestly, I've never been to Canada. I don't care about Canada.
Me
either,
neither, dude. And it's like, cool. I would like, end the cartels.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Let's make Mexico another fucking state.
I was gonna say, if you need an investor, we can get some cartels on.
No, I'll talk to you after the show about that. If you're like, there is some cash. I'll talk to you. If we got rid of that, made it a state and everything else, like the travel was beautiful and all of it. So yeah, it'd be rad.
Yeah, like I said, both they're dope. Like I said, but it just torn about some things. But
do you have 900 Drinkin Bros to give?
Nah. I got tios and tias.
Yeah. Okay.
I got primos and primas.
Just check in. I didn't know if you wanted to thank 9,000 brothers or who you wanted to thank as Drinkin Bro of the week.
Cousins.
Okay.
Some primos.
Okay.
So,
God.
I only got one more. So my uncle, my brother's out there too.
Yep. I knew there was a brother. I knew one. Yeah.
Hermano.
Yeah.
I got one hermano.
Mi hermano.
A middle and a little bit younger out there. Yeah. And then, like I said, one of my homies too. His name is Wes. Shout out to him. Because like I said, my dad got deported when I was 14, so I really didn't have much of a father figure when I was growing up. The streets kind of raised me a little bit. I should have been dead by now, but I'm not. So
yeah,
I'm grateful for that.
And look, Tango Uno Familia Grande as well. Like I got a big family too.
Yeah.
So
and like I said, I've been listening to you guys since North Carolina.
Yeah.
So I've been listening to you guys since I was like 20.
Ah, shit, dude.
Yeah.
God damn. Awesome, man. Well, thank you for listening and thank you for your support. Help yourself to any hard AFs up there.
Thank you.
Was there one more? Was that it? All right, we got one more. Fire away. There we go. Last one here. Denver. He's wearing a Broncos jersey. Let's see the back of it. All right. I tell you what, Delco, and I'm being serious on this because they'll delete this from YouTube. Put the camera on him. Leave the single on him, and I'll show you. Do you remember the bet?
Yes.
Okay. Have you seen it in person?
What?
Have you seen it in person?
The bet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I put it on Twitter.
You posted the picture on Twitter?
Yeah.
Of what it actually looked like?
Not the jersey, but the bet. I posted a screenshot.
Oh, okay, great. So leave it on him, and I'll show him.
I'm going to need a picture with that at the end.
We'd get deleted from YouTube altogether if we left it up.
Oh,
but
yeah, I understand.
Because people were asking, they were like, "Dude, was it real or was it henna or a fake?" And I said, "No, dude, we don't do that here. Like bet's a bet.
That's the real thing.
Fair is fair." Billie Jean, what's your name?
Kevin Lewis.
Who do you want? Oh shit, dude! I see you all over, dude. On Twitter.
I I'm the one who made the AI videos of you as Ross Patterson and Dan with the smile on his face.
Oh my God, dude. We've been laughing about that for days, dude. Those are awesome.
If I'm Dan stateside, I'm honored.
Yeah, of course, of course. And you got a nice target because you're wearing bright orange. So, yeah, you're good. Well, cheers, man. You and I chat on Twitter all the time.
Yep.
That's the one place.
I post a lot on Twitter, and you guys both respond pretty well. So
yeah, that's because it's fully formed sentences with either links to articles or videos or something that at least it's like, all right, cool, this is a conversation. DMs, like, I don't need emojis or prayer hands or any of that stuff, so I don't really check it, or the comments or anything else. So, but that I'll respond to, and then I will respond to Patreon comments too, because chances are, if you're paying for it, then you actually like us. So yeah. But you want to give Drink Bro of the Week to, Kevin?
I got a couple.
Good.
My brother and my sister-in-law for letting me move in because rent's too fucking expensive in Washington to live by myself.
Hey, I'll tell you this: it is expensive everywhere. So it's not just Washington. I am hearing that from every state we travel to. It's fucked. Yeah.
My old roommates didn't want to sign a new lease, so I moved in with them.
Okay.
And then the second one is Matt back there.
All right.
And Davey Jacobson.
Hell yeah. I know Davey Jacobson.
I want to give another shout out to my caddy back there.
Yeah.
Matt, because he's helped me at golf.
Awesome.
So.
Yeah. What's your handicap?
I'm fucking horrible.
Oh, yeah. I'm terrible. I'm worse than you.
I have no idea.
I'm worse than you, I promise. That's the one sport I'm not good at. I'm so embarrassingly bad that I won't play with anybody. I won't play with Delco or anyone. Like I suck at it.
If I could play with someone, you can. So.
Well, yeah, no,
I'm not good.
No. I don't know what it is, man. It swings too hard and then it goes wherever the fuck it goes. So yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely horrific at it. Well, hey man, I know who you are. Your handle, and I've responded to you numerous times over the years. We greatly appreciate your support, dude. For real.
Yep. All of you guys have.
Yeah.
Rob, you, Dan.
Yeah.
So you guys all respond pretty fast, which seems kind of rare for a podcast like this.
Hey man,
So
I mean, look, dude,
it's nice.
It's once again, I'll say this: it's a great community, and everybody supports each other. And yeah, I mean, that guy got a $700 ticket to a game. Like that was one of the greatest games of all time.
Yep.
And literally, all that guy asked me was, "Hey, can you confirm he's a Drinkin Bro?" I said yes, and he goes, "Great, I'll do it." And that's what it is. And when you come in here, you can booze, and drink, and do whatever you want.
I would have been there, but my brother was getting married in Vegas that weekend. So
okay, what's his name?
Kyle Lewis.
There you go,
He's
Kyle.
one of my
Shout out
Drinkin'
Kyle
Bros.
Lewis. All right, perfect.
He's also my boss at work, which is kind of
that's weird.
Nice at the same time, but weird.
Yeah, because he's your boss.
Yeah. I can't call out sick because now I live with him and he's my brother, so it kind of sucks. But
he's like, "Hey, motherfucker, you're not sick. You're not sick."
Exactly.
Appreciate you tuning in, guys. Yeah, you have one more?
I want to give out a shout out to my cousin Cody Burke, who might be listening right now.
Okay, Cody Burke, what up? What up, boy? Sorry, I don't even. That didn't even sound right coming out of my mouth, does it? Yeah. I gotta do
a lot of things.
What's his name? Cody Burke?
Yeah.
Cody Burke. What up, boy? That sounds better, I think. Yeah. Thank you. And thank you at home for tuning in. We appreciate it. Go to iTunes, rate the show a 5-star, and leave a quick review. Also, head on over to Spotify, where this video will be live up there. And how long does it usually take, Delco? Ballpark it.
What do you mean?
To upload the video to Spotify.
The show comes up on 7 o'clock. It'll be there.
Oh, great. I didn't know if that was a separate process.
No. It'll be there at 7.
Okay, great.
But anybody that bitches about episodes that are on Patreon that are not video on Spotify, it's because you have to wait.
Yes, that's it. Patreon is still Patreon, all right?
Also, if you have a VPN, that apparently messes it up.
Yeah, so it is what it is, and we do shit on Patreon because it's fucking out of control. Case in point, yesterday's episode on YouTube with Doug Townsend just got hit with a 18 and up restriction. It fucking sucks. So yeah, dude, Spotify doesn't do that shit to us. So, or neither does Patreon. So fuck off. That's why we do it. But we love you guys. Thank you very much. And yeah, the whole fucking review thing really does help the advertisers. So please do it. For D'Anthony Hollaway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is Drinkin' Bros Fake News. Good night, everyone.